That's pretty good.
I was supposed to fade. Oh. Wait, no. Oh, now you want to fade? You fucking jerk. What happened? Transition override. Cut!
What an unbelievable asshole. Thank you, XSplit.
Remember how I was literally pre-stream? I'm like, you know what I really like about XSplit? Just the nice little quality of life things they add. And then that's not XSplit's fault. That's me from the before times.
It literally wouldn't be a hipster stream if there wasn't one technical difficulty happening. And we have to be the ones to like bring it up.
Yes.
It can't just be a situation in which it's like a random freak happens, because that happens, right? I used to, like, before the channel, I joined the channel together with you.
Mm-hmm.
I used to run into several glitches without even talking about it. Now I have to bring it into existence, but I make sure to do so, like, subconsciously at this point.
Yeah.
Like, boy, howdy, I hope this works, and no, it fucking doesn't.
It's been me since I've started streaming. Literally since since Go to Bedcast, since Bedtime Stories, since the beginning. I don't think I've ever done a stream that has worked 100% perfectly.
I really, I think about that name a lot. And I think that just was not the correct name for having a bunch of men in the room just talking to each other. I mean, it would have been in another setting.
I can think of a worse one.
Yeah.
I can think of exactly one way worse name for a podcast.
Hit me with it.
I don't think I have to. Think you know. That's right. Swagalaggin.
Yeah. I mean, it's a banned word on purpose.
No, I think even the one I was actually talking about is still worse than that.
Yeah, because at least Swagalaggin has, like... I mean...
It's memorable.
It's memorable.
It's a made-up word. Mm-hmm. It's immediately identifiable.
Yeah. I also like the name of this one just because of the fact that it's always, like, if there's ever a situation where anyone would try to, like, reference us or be like, yeah, I listened to Not Another Podcast. What? Not another one, like a who's on first kind of fucking situation.
It's also gotten to the point where I think if you look us up on YouTube, you see all the one-off videos, right?
Yeah.
But the first one you see is Not Another Podcast 25, which was I think is like the year anniversary one where we had Lyle come back on.
Yeah.
With the JoJo art. So at least then you look and you go, okay, well, these other ones are weird one-off webcam videos in 240p. At least that one managed to get to at least 25.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe there's something there.
It's the podcast that... Well, this is why I'm saying, like, I really feel like... So one of the biggest problems I keep encountering, like, with people who come to me and are like, we would listen to your podcast more if it wasn't strictly on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing that's like, I use YouTube exclusively for everything. Excuse me, give me 1 second. Okay. Ginger ale was a bad choice. So I use YouTube exclusively for everything because I pay for the premium upgrade.
Yeah.
So I use it for music, news. Like it's basically a replacement for
cable
entirely. And then like people like consistently use Spotify. I don't fucks with the Spotify because it's like first of all, it's like a whole nother service that I would have to like buy a premium upgrade for. I specifically bought YouTube to avoid commercials, and I hate the fact that I have to keep doing that on Spotify.
Yeah.
But way more people utilize Spotify than I think because I don't like. I mean, you do too. I use
Spotify for pretty much licensed. I've got my music really weirdly divided, where it's like soundtracks and everything. They're on my installed on my phone or they're on my hard drive. Like licensed actual music, quote unquote, I use Spotify for because I think the discovery features are a lot better than something like YouTube. You're not just listening to like autoplay. And I do use Spotify for podcasts because like the other option, a lot of the podcasts are like, okay, it's a Twitch stream or highlights.
Right.
So like,
right. And that's why I feel like, I mean, with our channel being as underutilized as it is, this is one of the more consistent forms of content that we do have aside from streaming.
Yes.
So I was like, so I do have a thing set up for us to start adding stuff onto Spotify. It's just we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
So hopefully with this next one we will do so, and it will be Episode 1 on
No,
Spotify.
I think every podcast for the last 5 podcasts
tried to reboot.
have been it's been episode 1.
Yeah.
But yes, so I think that'll be a little weekend project for either me or you. I'll see if I can do it easier on my end. But yeah, we're hoping to get it on Spotify.
So you can listen to us on the go.
See?
Our soothing voices.
Yeah, in your car as you're yelling at traffic.
And you hear us just fucking going off about Fast and Furious on root shit. What else were you going to listen to? Music? You fucking nerd? Don't you know it's dead since Daft Punk is gone?
It's true.
Yeah.
That's very, very sad, but also at the same time, it's like they didn't leave because one of them died.
Right.
They didn't leave because there was a huge controversy yet. But
well, I forget who it was, but I was either Thomas or fucking Guy or Guy. I forget how he pronounces his name. They're French.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I think it was Guy who. No, it's Thomas. He's going completely deaf, so that's probably not super good for, music, and that sucks.
Yeah,
and I know he has the. Sure, he might have the fucking money now to go ahead and fix something like a hearing aid or something like that, but like. I have tinnitus, and I'm sure everyone has like a mild form of tinnitus. Mine's pretty bad because I was actually born with fluid in my ears. Like for like a year and a half, they were asking when I was 1, like why I hadn't said anything, and it's because I couldn't hear anything. It sounded like I was underwater for like a year.
Oof.
So when they finally did that, I was able to hear, but my ears have been damaged ever since. So
damn.
So I get it. I mean, I know I did some irreparable damage to my ear going to a Dirty Bird show, which is they are a label, a record label, where their artists effectively are very known for hard hitting sub bass rhythms,
for injuring their audience.
Basically injuring. If you stand next to the fucking stereo like I did, like a complete fucking asshole. Because when you're younger, you think you're invincible, and then you wake up the next day and you can't hear anything but a loud pitched squealing, and you go to the doctor and they said, "Yeah, idiot, don't fucking do that."
Two strikes.
Getting older.
Yeesh. Yeah.
So it's a shame, and we'll definitely talk about that in my week for sure. But
But again, like, I mean. I haven't heard the whole discography, but it's very much seems like. Is there a bad album, or is it just not so great? Because everything I hear from Daft Punk is like awesome. So
it really depends on who you ask.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those things where certain people. It's almost kind of like how I look at Final Fantasy. Everyone else's first is always the best one.
Fair
for
enough.
Them.
Yeah.
So if you were older, there's a lot of people who are much more into the more technocentric homework style from their first real album. That's the one that has Around the World on it, I believe. And then no, that doesn't have Around the World on it. It has Revolution 909 and Defunk.
Okay.
You've heard Defunk, I'm sure. It's a really good fucking song.
This will also be the last podcast we host because we have just been shut down for that 3 seconds. Look at the Twitch. We got shut down.
Look at them. The fucking better Twitch TV tools got fucking taken offline. Whatever, man. Fuck Twitch. Fuck the very platform that occasionally pays us every now and again. But like, then there's you could argue that Discovery is their best one, because Discovery is the one that has One More Time on it, Aerodynamic. It has pretty much all the ones that everyone remembers. Then there's Human After All, and then the last big one was Random Access Memories, which I personally always look at Random Access. I'm controversial in that stance. I think it's their weakest album, but I look at it the way I look at it, like, it's an amazing album, but not a super good Daft Punk album.
Yeah.
It's weird in that sense because, like, Daft Punk has, kind of made a lot of their style based off of how like incredible their sample work is. Like the way they cut and like slip like everything, like it's fucking incredible. Like if I'll show you a video afterwards of like the samples that they would use for like Discover is a really good example of the insane amount of work and time. Like the only people who would ever get like close to that would be the Prodigy, like Liam Howlett and his work in the Prodigy. He does an amazing amount of like sample work, which is just fucking incredible. But like, yeah, man, it was still something that like completely affected me, because there was always that. What it did was it scared the shit out of me for like a whole bunch of other stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Because what it meant was there was always that thing in the back of my head, like, boy, howdy, I can't wait for that Daft Punk reunion tour, right? Because, like, you've always wanted to go. Like, everyone always wants to go to a Daft Punk show. Like, no matter who you are, Daft Punk is so synonymous with, like, the mainstream and just music in general that everybody goes, I'd like to go to one Daft Punk show.
If you offered, I don't like live shows all that much, but I'd be there.
Right. And it's the one that was always, like, on the top. And then right underneath that right now for me is the Gorillaz.
Yeah.
And they were here in Miami like a few years ago, and I didn't go.
Damn.
And now I'm getting to a point where it's like, yeah, I'm not only getting older, but so are these assholes. And what's really telling about that is just that, like, yeah, sure, Gorillaz just released an amazing EP or like a new album with Song Machine, but for a while they were talking about not. Like, they were going to break up. Like, they were just not doing so well. And it was, like, not good with those two. So it was really...
Well, at the very least, you know, maybe a label picks them up and they just play the songs over the holograms. And you'll just never know.
Yeah. It is strange. It is a very strange case. Because, like, the most that I have ever done is there was actually... I don't know how they legally got away with it. But specifically for Daft Punk... There is a tribute group that actually made their own pyramid. Because I don't know if you've seen Daft Punk perform. Their big like live show thing is they were the ones who basically popularized the concept of like DJs having these extravagant fucking light shows happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the pyramid.
Yeah. So these guys made their own pyramid, dressed up as Daft Punk, and then put on a hell of a show that might as well have just been Daft Punk. And it was like a couple years ago in Orlando, and I was like, okay, sure, why not? I'll go. And I went, and I was not disappointed at all. I was like, you know, sure, it's a literal carbon copy clone, but it worked. It worked really well. It was like original compositions of their work too. It was really cool. But that's the closest I'll ever get. That's about it. Is a literal fucking cover band.
Sometimes you don't need Dr. Pepper. Sometimes a Professor Peppy will suffice.
Well, you know, look,
I was gonna say Dr. Publix, but that one doesn't really work for everybody. I forget what the brand is.
It's like when you go to somebody's party and instead you look for a Coke and they hand you an RC Cola. You're like, it'll do its job.
You're like, you're not real. You're not even Pepsi, RC Cola. That's not a real human.
Dude, it could have been a dude on a laptop wearing a Daft Punk helmet, and then it could have been like the Faygo version of fucking Daft Punk, and I still would have been pretty hype about it. I don't know anymore, man.
Guys, please don't serve Mr. Pibb at your party. You're not real. You don't exist.
I almost, like, what the fuck is Mr. Pibb?
I had one friend in college that was his soda. He would buy a case of Mr. Pibb. I don't know.
Is it like a Dr. Pepper?
I think it's like a cola-y root beer thing.
Because Dr. Pepper already kind of loses me. Like, I don't drink Dr. Pepper. I don't even know. Is that supposed to be root beer? What is that?
We're not soda hipsters. I feel like we're not that crazy. But there are some people out there who are like, I fuck with Mr. Pibb.
Like craft sodas and shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's not even craft soda. It's just the obscure main brand stuff. Like, it's still a Coke product.
The closest I'll get is RC Cola. That's
think
the
I've had
most. That's
RC
the most
Cola.
of. Huh?
I said I don't think I've had RC Cola.
I'm almost positive you've had. If you've gone to a child's birthday party as a child, you've had RC Cola. Especially if you lived in fucking South Florida.
Oh,
Like
man.
100% you've had it and you just didn't know any better because you were a dumb fucking kid.
I didn't like soda till I was like 16, though.
RC Cola basically tastes like flat Coke.
Fair.
It
Fair
doesn't
enough.
matter if you just pour it out of the fucking 2-liter. It just tastes like flatter Coke.
God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well,
Still, Daft Punk, really sad.
yeah.
I legitimately had tears. Like, it was definitely just... Because it's such a big fucking deal. Like,
Exactly. Even as someone not super into like music, like that one still, I was like, oh man, what the fuck?
Yeah, because you knew it was supposed... Like, everything has to come to an end, but, like, you thought maybe for a second they were actually just robots.
Maybe.
Just maybe for a hot second that they were going to be there forever, and no. No, they are getting old, and it's getting noticeable, and they're done.
I mean, who was it? Mozart was deaf. Or Beethoven?
Mozart was deaf at a time where I'm assuming the motherfucker just had tinnitus. You know what I mean?
Do you think he was faking being
No,
deaf?
I don't think it was as
You
bad.
oh, sorry. You thought he was over-exaggerating?
I think he was over the fuck exaggerating because like, look, how many fucking look you got to, and this is why I'm saying it. 110 decibels, right?
Okay.
That's the maximum amount of decibels it takes for you to be if you are in a place that is 110 decibels for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That will do permanent hearing loss. Now, that's not going to hit you so badly because your top frequencies get lost first.
Yeah.
But the world was not that fucking loud
So-
until the Industrial Revolution.
So, counterpoint, they didn't have penicillin. It was probably a disease.
Okay, well, that was
I don't think he
also-
went to a banger concert and
Well, I mean, like...
he had his head right up to the grand piano. Like,
yeah,
I don't think...
and you know what? You're right. Maybe the acoustics in those auditoriums were shit because they didn't know what the fuck that meant. You know? You're probably correct, but I really...
You thought he was just being a crybaby?
I think he was
just
being
had tinnitus.
Just a fucking... I really don't think I
Under-
should go after deaf people. Not deaf people, just this one. Fuck
Just
him.
Beethoven.
No, Mozart.
No, it was Beethoven.
You said,
Shaq
which one
called
was it?
me an idiot.
Okay.
Even though I said Mozart or Beethoven, I
Wow.
option selected.
I can't believe you didn't know that thing about
That's why I don't
the
look at chat
fucking-
during the podcast. I'm minimizing it. You guys are out. I know the audio works. The usefulness is gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, big sad.
It's really because they were like one of the first of their like type. I remember being a young kid back in like 2001 when One More Time dropped on the radio,
Yeah.
and it was like nothing I'd ever heard before, and that was even during the time where like dance music was still kind of relatively big, but nothing was as funky or as fucking good as One More Time in any capacity, and it is still kind of a timeless fucking song.
Yeah.
Like, you turn that song on at any party, and literally everyone... It's the, oh, shit! That, like, everyone turns around and starts losing their shit to. Like, at a good party. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, and fuck, man, that... I don't know if you've taken the moment to, like, spend an hour or two listening to Alive 2007. That
No.
was basically, like, when their recorded concert, some of those fucking reworks are absolutely insane. Them being able to maneuver around their own songs and like be able to like create whole new compositions just from like the groundworks of the shit they already released.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible stuff. I could talk about them forever. So instead, I might as well transition my week.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about something once again that both you and I know. Strive is pretty cool.
Oh.
By my week, how about the last month, basically?
True.
But like,
I'm happy you took Strive. Yeah, Strive is pretty cool. I'm actually going to let you lead this one because I was very happy with how much you enjoyed it and how much you played it while it was going on.
that is probably one of the most fun fighting games I think I've ever played, and yet it doesn't feel like it it put you gave me. I got a perfect character for me. Literal baby character that still has cool shit that they can do.
Yep.
That doesn't get beat out entirely by every other motherfucker on the roster.
Yep.
Which is like, I think for me the biggest problem was always either A, you have to go to a character that you don't necessarily agree with because they're the easier character and they're also like relatively useful on the roster, or B, the character you like sucks, or C, the character you like requires a PhD.
Yeah, and having a character, and the best advice, because like I don't like telling people anymore to just pick like Ryu, or like stuff like that, because you're gonna learn better if you're playing a character you really enjoy, even if they're harder. If you just think that character is sick, you're more willing to put the time in to try to learn stuff, no matter how difficult it is,
right,
or how weird they are, or even how good they are. And I think Giovanna, even as like a character you naturally gravitated to for a bunch of reasons, she's really cool because she starts out simple. She doesn't have a lot of moves to work with, but the skill ceiling for her seems so high. It's a very cool, very interesting character.
It's a fighting game where it doesn't feel bad to do simple shit, and it makes you feel cool no matter what you do. And that is, and it's just like you said in that one stream, it just feels good to press buttons.
Yes,
and
which
is like
just works too.
Yeah,
you can find matches quickly with people at a similar skill level to you, which means that the learning process doesn't suck as much.
I love the concept of the lobby system. I fucking hate its overall execution, but the concept is dope.
Yeah.
It genuinely, I don't think I've ever had a ranked experience where I have felt like I'm actually learning.
Yeah.
It almost, because here's a really good example. I got back into Valorant the other day after dropping it for so long, and I started playing ranked, and motherfucker, if I wasn't completely put up again. Like, the ranking in that game is miserable. I don't know how anybody does it nowadays, because like when I was first into it during the beta, everyone was kind of like on a comparable skill level, and when you did encounter a pro, it was overtly obvious. Now we've got like professional players in platinum, which is like, they should be fucking 300 other ranks up, and they're stuck down here because of how miserable the elo system is in that game.
Yeah.
So it's like, what ends up happening is you'll get into solo queue, or worse, if you queue up with people and try to do competitive, and you guys are all of wavering different elos, the game will just, for whatever reason, turn around and go, you have a room full of 3 to 4 people with you. We're going to send actual murderers to your door. Whereas, like, in the lobby system, I got beat, and then I go, no, but wait. Not only can I get that run back, I know how to do it.
Because
and I was able to, like, a really good example would be like this Leo player. It was the first player, and I got in. So I lost against the tutorial bot on the first thing. So I was already not in a good mood. I put me on floor 3 or floor 4. I lost 2 matches against Potemkin. Got kicked to floor 3. So on floor 3, I found a Leo player that was sitting there, and I was like, okay, I have to fucking learn. And this man was an absolute fucking ape, and he just ate my shit up. But I got a couple hits in.
Yeah.
So when the run back, I got a couple more hits in. And then finally, it was just back and forth. I won, he won. I won, he won. And it was we were sitting there for 45 minutes, this random guy. 45 minutes, and we just didn't let up until finally I ranked up off of him. And I was like,
I have to say goodbye now.
I have to say goodbye. And he goes, dude, fucking good games. I was like, yeah, man, that was sick.
So, yeah, you got the amazing experience of playing with someone on your skill level, because you have to lose to learn. That's just how it goes.
Right.
But when you lose against someone significantly higher skilled than you, it's hard to pinpoint what you did wrong, and it's really just becomes like, they just know so much more than me. And if you can't at least get a couple hits in, you don't know what your starting point is and where you have to improve.
Exactly.
And I'll say this real quick for anyone who doesn't know how the Strive ranked system works, is that it is a 10-floor tower. You do a little placement match, and then it puts you on a floor. From there, you can play with people on your skill level on that floor, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can move as high up the tower as you want. You can just pick a higher up floor and go there. However, you can't go any lower than the floor you've currently like ranked to. So what that means is that if you're on floor 4 and you're playing against people on floor 4 and you're like, okay, this is a little easy. I haven't ranked up yet, but I feel like I'm ready to move on. You can choose to move up to floor 5. And if that doesn't work out, you can go back to rank 4. What that doesn't mean is that people in rank 9 can't go, I need to feel pretty good about myself, and go all the way back down to rank 4 to fight you. And so instead of having it match you up with somebody where it's like, oh, we couldn't find anyone at your skill level, so we're just going to put you with this guy we found. He's a diamond rank in Street Fighter, even though you're a silver.
Yeah.
Instead, you can go as high up as you want, but more experienced players, they stick around where they're at, and then they can obviously go higher or stay at the skill level they're at. But what that means is that you play a lot more meaningful matches against people around your skill level where you're not like... You're learning fundamentals earlier on, because you don't need big combos to beat people in floor 3. You just need to know how to hit the right buttons at the right time. And so when you get to floor 4, you've seen the progress. They're like, your number go up. It wasn't a big number change. It wasn't a precious metal to a different precious metal.
Right.
You just went up a floor. So from here on out, you're like, okay, I'm going to try to combo a normal into a special move, and that'll work on people at that floor. Then you get to the next floor. It's like, okay, I need to start getting a little bit more damage out of your hits. You go into training, you maybe learn one easy combo, and you can kind of pace your progress a bit more early on. I think it's, like, great. It doesn't work.
Concept-wise,
it's amazing.
It is... The reason why it doesn't work is because it tied the idea of getting a match with the tangibility of your avatar.
Yes.
As opposed to just it being a fucking thing you press.
You walk around a little lobby and you match up with people. And if you talk to the person at the bar, it will show you a list of player names.
But it still forces you to move next to them.
Yes.
Which also, if they're in training mode, sometimes the match will just fail. So it doesn't matter, and it'll kick them out, and they'll get confused. And also, if you are standing next to somebody, and you go, hey, that's my friend, I want to play a match with him, and you hold the Q get ready button, the game will just decide whether or not it wants to put you maybe a few inches away from him, or all the way in fucking 2 on the other side of the screen.
So my brain thinks, like, okay, either when you hit ready up, because obviously, if you wanted to play with your friends when the game comes out, there's private lobbies. That's what that's for. This was very much for making sure you play as many different people as possible so they get the network information they need, yada, yada. That's why there's no rematch button. That's why there's no... you can't see your ping to somebody before you match up or what kind of connection they have. In my brain, when you get teleported to another section of the floor... It's going, okay, let's put you near a bunch of people who aren't readied up yet, so they see, like, okay, a match just opened, you're more likely to get a match quicker. But sometimes, yeah, it'll just teleport you away near nobody, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll walk back, or... It becomes a game of hide and seek, and it's
100%.
Really it was only a problem when we were trying to play specific people, which it didn't want you to do, because it is still a ranked mode. So I hope they iron out some of that stuff, but yeah, conceptually the lobbies are great. There's just weird quality of life stuff that's not there, and it's just kind of buggy right now. But if they clean it up, I really like it. The only problem I ran into was I reached heaven, I reached the celestial floor by the time the beta ended. And that is the cap. And I got there in a weekend. So I don't know what they're going to do about progression past that point. There's obviously like a bunch of gallery stuff and colors and unlockables and that sort of thing that we just didn't get access to. But as far as progressing your rank, that kind of slow build to more experienced players, going from the 10th floor to heaven was a bigger gap than any of the previous floors combined. That is where the players that really knew their shit were. And so you'd get up there. In order to stay there, you have to win 5 matches, and if you lose, they kick you back out until you rank up there again. So you'd get up there, and I'd play a Milia player. Did you play a single Milia Rage?
Yeah, 100%, and they completely ate me.
You
like,
did?
Alive.
Okay. I didn't see a single Milia until I got up there, and she beat me, and it was a really good player. I'm like, okay, I learned some stuff. I went into training mode. I practiced some things. Like, okay, the next time I run into Amelia, I'll know what to do. Then I ran into one on the 10th floor, and they weren't even close to that level. It was a stomping. And I was
Really?
like, okay, so I don't feel like I've learned this matchup any better because I've either been destroyed by a level 300 Milia, which fuck, or I beat on this level 50 Milia and didn't learn a whole lot from that experience either.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I was of the mindset that like heaven's like way farther. Because at the end of the beta I got to floor 7, so I was like, okay, floor 7. Obviously, there's a couple more floors coming. I'll be good to go. And in my head, I think a couple means like a few, like quite a few.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Celestial Floor was basically floor 11. Like,
Yeah.
So for me, the progress between 3 to 7 felt entirely natural. It felt like, okay, 3 is the one where everyone's unga bungaing. 4 is the one where everyone beat the tutorial bot and they know how to do a quarter circle. But if I get in that ass, they ain't gonna move very much sometimes, and they also don't block lows. Blah, 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 blah. So then I get to 5, and it's like 5 is like, okay, now they block lows.
Now we're playing a fighting game at this point.
That motherfucker just ran up and grabbed me. So then I go into floor 6, and floor 6 is where like that motherfucker has combos.
Yes.
And I get to floor 7 and go, that motherfucker has lots of combos.
Yeah, it's a great system. I just think there should be another 10 floors. I think the Celestial floor should be the halfway point. Because once you get there...
It should be a literal Tower of Babel, or like the Tokyo Tower in SMT4, where it's just literally two ends of the earth meeting.
Yeah.
And you start from literal subterranean baby shit into ascending into where fucking you look over to the side and Asura is literally kicking God in the face.
Yeah, because once you get there, the skill level will continue to go up as the people there keep playing, but the floor separation doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So you have the level 70 who just got there and are ready to qualify, and the level 500 Potemkin, which I forgot what the player's name was, but I was watching match footage, and fuck, that guy should not be in the same pool of players as me still. But that's something like, you can add a couple more floors. That's something they could add later on. Yeah, Fab, who is a very, very, very good Potemkin player through all the Guilty Gear games. I feel like if they just added some floors, like, because once you get to that floor, you are playing Guilty Gear at that point. That's what it felt like. It's like, okay, this feels more like I'm playing against experienced old Guilty Gear players. And I just wish the floor progression would continue through that. That was the big standout thing that I didn't like about the lobbies. It was just like, once you got to floor 11, that was it. The separation didn't exist anymore, and now it's like a free-for-all. And then you get booted back down to 10 if you didn't win your 5.
Can I make a controversial statement?
Sure.
So, Yasian just brought up that guy, Fab.
Yeah.
He's talking about he's the best pop player of all time. One of the major things that I'm hearing about, like as a major criticism with this game in particular, is that Strive. The reason why Strive is so much better for newbies and so much worse for veterans is because it is essentially an entirely new Guilty Gear experience. It completely rewrites a lot of the rules and foundations of what like Guilty Gear was about. And my hot take is the veterans who can hang have always had it, and the veterans who left should have just fucking stayed where they are, like 100%. Because I feel like if you've been, it's almost like a Smash problem for me now, where it's like, okay, so you're mad that a game changed. You're mad that the game was able to sit there and actually take all of its faults and almost effectively remove them in terms of the barrier, while still allowing you to have that high level of execution that you can still do crazy. I've seen people pull off like 15 to 20 like traditional Guilty Gear combos now. It's just one of those things where like I understand where they're coming from, but then it's like I see people like Omito and fucking I hear this Fab guy and it's like they're doing okay. why are you fucking up? It's even easier for all of us now, so I feel like you don't have an excuse.
See, a lot of the top players from older Guilty Gear games that I've seen are doing just as well in this game as they did before, but a lot of certain problems with the gameplay, as amazing as it does have certain problems that weren't problems in previous Guilty Gear games.
Right.
It's not stuff you start seeing until you are playing at a very high level. Where like, yeah, I definitely don't think this game is harder to play than other Guilty Gear games. Like, if anyone is having issues with the game, or like they're bad at the game when they were better at an older Guilty Gear game, that I don't get. I feel like this is a pretty easy game to adapt to. Overriding muscle memory is really rough.
Yeah.
But there was a big, I don't think it was a twit longer, but one of those long write-ups I saw on Twitter. That was all of the issues they had with Strive, and it was all gameplay related stuff. And it's a bunch of minor stuff that as a new player coming in you wouldn't notice, but like, they're changes made without reason. They're not changes that make the game better, they're changes that make the game different.
Okay.
Which overall is my big issue that Strive has. As much as I love, listen, if you wanted to change rollback just for the sake of changing something, great. Keep changing things like that. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, there are a lot of decisions in Guilty Gear Strive that are changes made to make it different and not to make it better.
Okay.
You can block in the air now. Why? I don't know. You couldn't block in the air in the previous games. The game's different. Why do all the songs have lyrics? Because in the past they didn't, but now they do. We wanted it to be different. Why does the air dash have a bit of a startup? We wanted to mix up how you move in. Is it an improvement? Not really. But I don't think it makes the game worse. I kind of like the momentum. I think it feels good to air dash and Strive, but I wouldn't say it feels better than like any other traditional air dash. It's just different.
I mean, I'm always going to look at it from the angle of when I picked up a controller for Guilty Gear Sign, and I was like, this is it. This is the Guilty Gear I'm going to try to learn. Mm-hmm. And I got to that first tutorial, and I said, no, I'm not. I don't care how comprehensive this tutorial is. It's the amount of things I had to do for the game to tell me, nice, you made it past the basics. It was like,
now,
man,
see, all those changes I think are for the better. Condensing all of the complex mechanics from Xrd into just Roman cancels is way better. There's a lot less feature bloat there. I think reducing Gatlings means that the buttons you're hitting are a lot more decisive, and you know what you're going to get, and you know what you can do from it, where your options are a bit more limited, but again, because the Roman cancel stuff, you can do way, way more with it. I think all that's great. It's minor stuff. Why does Potemkin's anti-air throw that exists exclusively to get people out of the air, why can you block it? Because...
Well, I mean, I think whenever you play against a Potemkin player now, it totally makes sense as to why you can block it.
Because the damage is so high.
Yeah.
But then also, like, anti-airs in general are a lot worse in this game than they used to be. Where I'm sure... Did you play against a Mei at any point?
Yes. I beat some Meis.
Did the Mei hit you with the dolphin and then jump and then do the move where the anchor was below her?
No, but you know what I did see?
What?
I saw some pure degenerate shit when I watched Jay Wong, fucking Mr. Justin himself. Have you seen Justin play Mei?
No, but I'm sure I could figure it out because, again, I played a shit ton of Meis, and you had one strategy, and that was to go in the air.
I started getting flashbacks to, like, watching Evo footage of Morgan on screen. Just the pure, intense, fucking, like, non-stop, not a projectile, because her projectile's really slow. No.
The
dolphin, hit, dolphin, confirms every time. Like, I watched it, and everyone in that chat was like, this is degenerate, and Justin's like, let Mei be strong. And I was like, was she never strong?
She was strong. I mean, she was just a good all-rounder character. I mean, Mei won every single fucking Guilty Gear stream I hosted in Orlando.
Yeah.
Every single one. But yeah, it's stuff that you'll experience if you're really dedicating all this time to the game, and it's Nothing is huge, but it's a bunch of tiny little changes that don't seem to have any reasoning behind it. It's not for the better. Sometimes it's not even for the worse. It's just different for no reason. And that's where kind of the annoyance comes from. I think if you like played Soul Bad Guy in a different game, then you pick this game up and you just can't figure it out. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not harder to play, but there are like anti-air hitting people jumping in at you was the biggest issue I had with the game, or like problem with my play. The problem I kept running into was I was having a lot of trouble with the buttons I was giving, hitting people out of the air. So then the solution becomes, all right, I guess I have to jump and meet them up there. Okay, my buttons are really slow. What's the quickest thing I can do? It's an air throw. The range on air throws is a lot shorter, and the startup time is a lot less. So now at this point, as a Ramlethal player, if someone is right above me, and I haven't already started doing something, what is my solution? It's block. They're safe when they land. It's still their turn. They do something, now they're back in the air. They're really close to me. What's my solution? RC, spend the meter, try to get out. Burst, what if they bait it? And then there's stuff like, you can... The crazy one I saw was, before if you blocked someone doing like a burst, right, you could go up and throw them. You could also do a big combo to punish them, but you could throw them. You can't do that anymore. The burst is throw invincible. However, if you do a DP, if you do like a big uppercut, you can throw someone out of that. What is supposed to be your invincible option. Why? What was the change for? There's no justification for the change. It's just a weird change that doesn't make as much sense as like what your options were in previous games. I don't think any one of those makes the game any less fun to play. I still think I've had more fun playing this fighting game than any fighting game that has come out since Under Night. But
well, because you know what it is? It's like even... I think for me, it's specifically with this one, when we talk about games that have rollback and everyone who plays those games, they're all like, for the most part, they've been older titles that have kind of like
if
lost
you want to
their
play
way.
a fighting game with good netcode, it's going to be some weird Fight of Gods janky shit, or it's going to be Skullgirls, which I've been playing since like 2008.
Yeah.
No, there's no way. It had to be like 2011.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match, which is a fantastic game.
Or Garo or something like that.
Or Garo or anything on Fightcade. Like, there hasn't been a new fighting game where everyone's at the same starting point that works in a really long time. And so that alone, the novelty of, I hate to say that a working product is a novelty, is amazing. It's great.
Well, no, I mean, you have to basically... That's the thing, is that Guilty Gear Strive should 100% be the barometer for what Japanese developers... Because, like...
it should be the standard going forward.
I only heard slightly from the Castle Super Beast guys. They were talking about the
round table?
The round table.
Oh, you didn't hear me yelling? You did hear me yelling.
No, I
through
did,
the wall.
and I came in and I was really like...
Because I was so furious.
I haven't heard you be that angry in a while. So I came in and I was like, are you okay? And
yeah.
You're like, no.
And the thing I was so angry about, and this is the only thing I'll have to say about the round table, because a lot of the announcements were for games that don't work, so I don't care, was that anytime Nishitani, who is head developer of Fighting EX Layer and who made Street Fighter 2 and Final Fight and all those games, anytime he brought up rollback netcode, they would move the topic on to Wi-Fi indicators in games and how important or not important that is, and how they make players feel. And then anytime Daisuke brought up working with an outside company to make Guilty Gear's netcode work, the SNK guy would just divert the question. And they're releasing KOF 15 this year, and there's been no news if that game will work. And there's a new season pass for Samurai Showdown, a game I know doesn't work, especially if you play on PC, where I don't even think the game launches. It probably does, but...
I would like to see what the sales numbers in Japan are, because they can't
For Sam Show?
Yeah.
Sam Show is one of the best-selling fighting games. Worldwide.
Is it?
Worldwide. Samurai Showdown sold dummy stupid numbers. That's why it has 3 season passes. It's getting a Guilty Gear crossover character. Couldn't care less. The game doesn't work.
That's the problem, is if people buy the games... what are they going to listen to?
But the most
it's the same issue we've talked about with like the games of service problem, which we will talk about what happens when people buy it and then you see the immediate fucking backlash at a later topic. But like I feel like SNK saw that and said we don't have to fucking conform.
But here's the confusing part is that they have a company that they work with all the time that puts good working netcode into their games. Code Mystics, who are the ones who backported to Garou in KOF 2002.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say that I think the major reason why that is because there's a couple of old school Japanese developers who are just a little too stoic, a little too unmoving, and like, you know...
So, but here's the hope.
Bullshit.
Is that the character they announced was Chizuru, who I don't think has been in the game since 2003. And really cool character. And I have not seen a single post about that character that doesn't involve, hey, SNK, where's the rollback? Where's the rollback? Every Twitter post, every video is where's the rollback.
Well, because it was
and
like,
guess what?
What was that beta? Or like there was a thing that Arc System Works did where they had players send in stuff, and the first thing that was on it was no rollback, no buy.
Yeah.
By literally everybody.
Strive was going to have delay-based netcode. I played it. It was awful. It was awful. In that first beta, it was terrible. And they changed it. Which, hey, thank fucking God. And now, again, having that developer conference right in the middle of the Strive beta, a fighting game that works, might have been the best thing that could have happened. Because, yeah, people are like, I love KOF. I'm sorry, I'm still buying it. Now,
do you think Strive's gonna fucking just completely blow the doors off of like most of their Guilty Gear numbers? Because I don't know if Guilty Gear's ever been like a super successful series.
It sells well enough, but it's still obscure.
Sure,
but I do think
like,
this game, at the very least, if you play fighting games, I think you're buying it right away.
There are people that I know who have never seen a fighting game who look at this and go, okay, what is this?
Again, I've loved streaming the game and seeing every person in the chat interested and or playing the game with me.
Right.
I 100% think that this game is going to do big numbers. I think having a free beta weekend where people could try it helped a lot. Word of mouth is like fantastic, even with all the small stuff here and there. I'm hoping that if your game releases and its netcode isn't half as good as Strive, that is embarrassing. And I'm very excited for this game to come out, so hopefully I can stop talking about this on the podcast because I'm exhausted. I just want my favorite genre to work.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, I think that there's, like I was saying, there's still going to be a couple developers that are very stuck in their ways. And they're probably just going to continue to do down the path that they're going to continue down.
I said this on stream. If Guilty Gear Strive is the last fighting game to come out, and we go into another dark age of fighting games like we did in the mid-2000s, where no fighting games come out, no fighting games get supported, and that's what it takes for people to realize how important their online is, I'll take it. I will play Guilty Gear Strive for the next 5 years exclusively.
What a weird world that'd be to see Guilty Gear, like, potentially beat out heavy hitters. You know what I mean? Like...
Street Fighter got beat out by Tekken in terms of, not in terms of sales or popularity, but in terms of public consciousness. Right. Tekken was always big, but like it became huge. I think Guilty Gear could do it on the sole fact that it works. That's it.
Well, I mean, I think...
And if you don't know what rollback netcode is, there's more than enough really good videos about it that can explain it to you in like 10 minutes.
What I got just from like the how it looks is I threw out a move, he jumped it, but his health bar moved like a second because I started seeing stuff like that happen a lot.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what the fuck that was, and I was like, oh, I guess that was rollback.
It was rolling it back, yeah.
Yeah.
It usually isn't something you see unless the connection is particularly bad.
I realize that I'm on Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So
you will see it more often. But the big thing is that the delay that you're playing with is not variable. So if you're playing with a 2-frame delay, 2 frames between your button being pressed and what's happening on the screen, plus your monitor and all that, it's going to stay 2 frames for the whole match. Delay-based netcode, the delay will adjust based off of how bad the connection is. So it could go to 2 frames to 4 frames to 7 frames. I've played 20-frame delay matches. That's a third of a second. Yeah. Yeah. Keats has done a fantastic write-up. has made a great video. I think a whole Back to Block did like a little video about it. Look it up. It's got great info, and it's open source and publicly available since like the early 2010s. So, hey, I'm happy we're finally getting there. But
There's really no excuse anymore.
But yes, again, hey, Eno looks great. That was the one character they showed off for a game that'll work. I hate fighting Eno, but she looks incredible.
She looks good. She looks really good.
What a fucking glow up. I never really liked Eno's design, but Eno looks super sick in this game.
Cool. Other than that,
yeah.
I asked you to borrow Persona 5 Royale.
Yeah, I didn't know if that went anywhere.
Royal, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It kind of did. I played the intro. Didn't know there was a whole new intro. That's cool. I got to Kimishita's dungeon, and I had to stop. But, so far, it's Persona. Mm-hmm. It's great. I'm into it. Really have been like looking for the next game because, unfortunately, the new Genesis closed beta came out. I wasn't accepted to it. But funnily enough, in the myriad amount of... I found out that I was... basically, what they did for the new Genesis closed beta was it was only for Japan players.
Uh-huh.
But I have a Japanese account, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try to put it in. And in trying to find that, I also realized I don't know what fucking email is associated with the main Japanese account that I use, so I had to go and dig real deep. And I did, and I finally found another account, which... I discovered. I scrolled all the way back to seeing what the latest, like the earliest PSO2 thing was, and it was the first acceptance into the closed beta in 2011.
Wow.
So like one of those accounts did win. I just never checked that account back in the day.
Jesus.
So I didn't get accepted, but hopefully what they're doing for this next one that they ended up delaying until next month is they basically said we're gonna add way more people, and probably there's some insinuation that they're not going to really give a shit about whether or not they all come from Japan, because they had like a fuck ton of people for like they had 50,000 people in the first initial run, which was pretty big for like a Japanese online beta.
Yeah.
And they knocked it out of the park. A lot of people really liked a lot of the changes, and when I saw, I was like, if I can launch it, and if Max can launch it, we might have an MMO.
God, I'm not picky. God, I'm so not picky. If the game launches, I'm in. Like, it's
like, you know, Max, like, I sat there and I was playing Luster on PSO2 the other day, and I was like, this is just Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Max would love this class. It's a Gunblade class that changes its style depending on the element of your weapon.
Yep.
One is a speed style, one is an aggressive attacker style, one is a defensive style. They all have different, and they've got stay arts and move arts. And they all work together simultaneously, so it just looks like a ballet in the air.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at all these fucking things that, like, all the people who were playing PSO2 with us are just never going to see because they refuse to try because of how fucked the Microsoft Store was.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that if it launches... Now, here's the thing. I don't know how it's going to work because New Genesis is, as they have shown, is just part of PSO2. So how it works is when you log into PSO2, you know that elevator that changes blocks?
Yeah.
That's how you change into New Genesis.
Oh, it's from that. So it's from same EXE.
Same EXE, same character.
Ah.
So your character levels, all your progression is different because it's a new game.
Yeah, but it's all the same.
But
fuck, that file size is going to be huge.
Yes. Also, all your fashion stays. So, like, so people are like, why play PSO2? Do you want your fashion to be on fleek the moment you get in? Sure.
Yeah,
but then they turn around and go, yeah, but it won't be New Genesis fashion. What does that mean? Oh, New Genesis fashion has moving fingers.
How does he fire the gun, Phil?
How does he fire it? So the new graphical update is coming in for PSO2, and it's really all it's doing is like actually putting in things that the fucking launcher for the translation team has done forever. Yeah. And they're also changing some of the It's basically just an engine upgrade so that New Genesis can sit on top of that client and not feel terrible. And then it can do. But I also keep looking at like that. I'm like, you know, there's a lot of games that could just learn from this. Just add the game on top of it. You know? Can you imagine Call of Duty? You just fucking switch to another Call of Duty in the middle of
it's the Sonic and Knuckles Link cartridge, and it's just stacking into the sky.
It's exactly what it is.
World at War,
and it looks fucking amazing. Yes, while I was waiting for that on any news to see if it's coming to the West, I mean, it's coming to the West, obviously, but if there's going to be a beta or anything like that,
yeah.
I've just been desperately trying to find some game to play that doesn't make me want to fucking commit suicide. Like, it really has been difficult because the only two multiplayer games that I've been going back and forth between are the only two that make me upset, which are Valorant and fucking League. Now, thankfully, my boys have been getting back into CSGO, and CSGO is great because your weapons work. Bullets, when they come out of your gun, will hit a target. Which is kind of like...
I've seen some footage that disagrees with that statement.
Yes, you can get CSGO'd, 100%. But here's the thing. To explain it, I guess let me try to explain this to you in a simple way. You know how you have where you can pick up any fighting game and you're just like, okay, I'm in?
Yeah.
That's kind of similar for many of the iterations for CS, like Counter-Strike for me, because you know how the shooting pattern works. So your brain automatically adjusts your aim because it's subconsciously going, okay, the AK, when I full spray it, veers off a little to the right, a little to the left, and then so when I move my mouse, it does that.
I've just seen a CSGO reticle and then a bullet fly at like almost a 90-degree angle somewhere else. And that'd be like if there was a 1% chance that Ryu would throw his fireball up.
Right.
But he'd still be facing forward, but the fireball would just go up instead.
But here's the thing. In Counter-Strike, all of those patterns are not randomized. They're all the same.
Okay.
So the idea is you have to learn how to accommodate for that. Mm-hmm. So people you'll see pro players, they'll spray from fucking clear across a corner because they've literally got it down to a point where
they're moving it to counterbalance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And
that's kind of what I feel with like that one on a minor level is that like, and in mid-range fights, I will almost always get my headshots in. In Valorant, after the fourth shot, the spray pattern is random.
Cool.
So what happens is, because the game factors armor differently, it's not like a in CS:GO, if you have armor and you put it on your head, like you have Kevlar, like a helmet, it'll protect you from one headshot. In Valorant, it's like a weird formula, a damage formula that will kind of your armor. You're still going to take health damage before you take fucking armor damage.
Okay.
So it'll level out depending on what it feels like whether the connection, how many shots you ended up getting, how far the person is, taking account their random spread, their control of the fucking recoil. So what'll happen is sometimes, and the worst part is peeker's advantage, where if somebody rolls around a corner, like let's say we're looking at each other.
Sure.
If I'm farther back and you're like kind of hiding behind a wall, I will see you first. You will never see me. It doesn't matter.
So if I walk out from behind the wall, you will see me?
Well, let's say like you're hiding. So like in this corridor right here.
Sure.
If I'm standing from over there, it's like, yeah, you probably can't see me in your periph, but the game will make it seem like if you're closer to that wall, like even a little bit, it'll make it seem like you're just staring at the wall. Whereas I can see you. So that's peeker's advantage. So here's the problem with peeker's advantage and how Valorant does it and how they handle movement in fucking... So in Counter-Strike, you're supposed to kind of stop and pop.
Yeah.
Because recoil's a bitch if you're running. In Valorant, with the way the connection works, it'll just look like someone turned a corner and headshot you full sprinting. Doesn't matter. So you're just sitting there like, what the fuck was... And then they go, dude, it's the connection. Don't worry about it. It's like, how am I supposed to counter? I'm holding an angle, and you full sprint headshot me. I was walking on my screen. Go fuck yourself. You were walking on your screen.
What an exhausting genre.
Yeah, but CS:GO.
But it's a problem in Valorant, not CS:GO.
Yeah, CS:GO. I just show up, and my bullets work. I hold an angle.
That's crazy.
And if there's 3 people coming at me, if I can get the shot off, I'll kill them. If I can't, I'll die. In Valorant, if there's 2 people, that's it. You're dead.
And that's before someone has thrown a magic ball at you
Yeah.
that makes you blind, or the one guy punches the wall
Oh
through
my
the wall.
fucking god, there's no counterplay to flashes in that game. It's
don't
awful. See, the counterplay for CS:GO flashes is you hear the tink. You hear bing 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 and it's a specific sound, so you go, I don't know where it is, or I hear it.
Yeah.
If you hear a splash get thrown first, you immediately whip around, like you just like completely look in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
It'll flash for a second, but then you can look back and then be able to like shoot.
There's no...
No, in Valorant, you'll hear a whooshoof, but it's like Phoenix's one is literally is a curveball. So
I've
what he'll
seen
do,
that, yeah.
so he'll curve it around the door, and you'll see it first before you hear it. So it'll be like boom, and you just get flashed, and you're just like, oh, I'm blind. There's no counterplay to this. So holding angles is basically murder, and it's even worse for people like Breach, who basically he can just throw a flash through a wall, and just it doesn't matter. He can just aim it.
That's who I was watching, is
Right.
the guy who kept punching the wall. I'm like, is something happening on the other side of this wall? Apparently everything was happening on the other
Yes,
side of
because
the
he
wall.
also has a damage ability where he can just also fire a missile through the wall, and it can either act as a grenade that gets that person out of there, or it can just kill that motherfucker if he stands still.
Man, they should make like a game where you just have all of the ability, like everyone has every ability, and it's like you could still have like a heavy focus on like movement, and because there's so much movement, you have like a bigger map. It doesn't have to be a hero shooter.
Yeah.
You could have robots in it.
Just play Titanfall.
Grapple hook. Oh, well.
Just play Titanfall. But to finish that all up, the last game I ended up trying out today, which I'm going to try a little bit more, not so sure about it, is Outriders. Outriders is a new
Yeah.
demo. It's a co-op shooter, but they said we're not a games of service. It has an ending, and we're only going to support it if this succeeds. So the game has a final, it's got a bunch of stuff you can do.
It is a Borderlands. It is not a Destiny.
Basically.
Okay.
So I was looking at that, and you move like a motherfucker in that
I
game.
saw it kind of looks a little janky when you're running around.
It's a little jank, but I was playing it, and I was like, this is good jank. This is not $60 jank, but this is
Yeah.
if this is like for $40 or $30,
It looked
this is really fun, and it's crossplay across all platforms.
cool.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play the demo, see how I feel, and then maybe if there's a sale, or even then, if there's nothing else and someone else goes, hey, you want to play this game? Sure, I'll buy it, because it just looks like there's not a whole lot of co-op stuff going on, and the small bits of like things I could do, the class that I think everyone's going to pick first, because why the fuck wouldn't they, is the Trickster class. And it is a class that is all about close range fighting and space-time manipulation. Your first skill is
I saw you do a slash and the man turned into a skeleton.
Yes. So the first skill is you slash. It fucking acts as a sort of weird, like a kind of like a dot, like a damage over time. And then if that damage over time kills them, they explode, and they explode everybody else in that area.
Okay.
So I was like, that's really cool. I like that a lot. And it also has skill trees that you can just reset whenever. Doesn't matter. You just pay a small price. You can reset whatever.
Cool.
It looks like just a neat little game that I'm just like, I'm really glad that they're fucking not doing the games of service thing,
Yeah.
because it makes me feel good. Other than that, I feel like I've subscribed to more people on YouTube, but no one enough to where I haven't really talked about them before in the past. I guess Terminal Montage, if you guys haven't followed Terminal Montage yet, please go ahead and follow Terminal Montage, because that guy has some incredible, absolute fucking insane animations. His latest Super Smash Bros. One is fucking phenomenal.
There is something so like I don't even know, but the Mario back hop sound. Did you see the clip of the Guilty Gear wave dashing? I retweeted of Soul Bad Guy doing the Mario backwards long jump. There's something about that sound that is the funniest shit.
Yeah, and then the thing they just released was like he just released was the final fight against that Mario.
Nice.
It's really good.
We'll have to watch it.
Please
if you're gonna
do.
watch it, turn your speakers down just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
There's gonna be a warning at the start of the video. Anyway,
absolute favorite joke is Fox. Because you know how Fox, when he moves really fast, he'll do the clicking.
The GameCube sounds.
The GameCube clicking. He meets Marth, and they go, huh? And then they just start fucking clicking together.
So in Rivals of Aether, which is the pixelated Smash-like that's
Right.
on Steam, fantastic game. They added a whole custom character utility and like a workshop support and everything. It was like the first characters made was Melee Fox.
Oh my god.
And you just every time you turn the stick, it makes the GameCube clack sound. And he has shine, he has up throw, and then his taunt is he just grows really big and turns into a JPEG of Fox's model T-posing from Melee.
That's so fucking good.
And he's doing the voice clips. Hi-ya! 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 Like over and over. It's amazing.
It's so good.
God.
All right, well, that's enough for me, because I've been meaning to try to get you in an opportunity to watch the second Fast and Furious.
I know.
Because we actually haven't spoken about Fast and Furious since the last podcast.
True.
And you did end up watching the first one with us.
We did, immediately following the last podcast.
Yeah.
I'll start my time with that, I guess. Is I watched the first Fast and the Furious since the last podcast. And it was... This is going to sound really weird, but it was the same experience I had watching Fate. And that is...
Really?
You know when you hear about something for so long and it's in your peripheral and, like, the legacy behind it builds and builds and builds, and then you finally watch it and it's kind of quaint?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of quaint and cute?
Yeah.
I think maybe, like, half of an event happens in Fast and the Furious 1.
It is absolutely insanity. Like just absolute insanity to think where that series is going to go.
Yeah.
In comparison to what you watched.
Fast and the Furious 1, it was like a DVD player heist. Like,
it's Michelle Rodriguez's character sitting on a fucking home floor in like some California place playing fucking Gran Turismo on the PS1.
Yeah.
And then you hard cut to 10 where she's a spy.
It really felt like I watched a film where nothing happened. Like, and I had a great time. It was a very enjoyable experience, but the story is so small, it is almost negligible.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, Dom and Paul Walker's character, Brian, there's like maybe a one scene transition and then they're like blood brothers. They're like best friends forever. And like there was nothing in between that. And I'm like,
tell me how much you loved those 2001 movie effects.
Tell
me how much you love watching the NOS intake engine shit.
As someone who very recently made a video about how much they love old PlayStation 1 racing games, I was very excited when a PlayStation 1 intro to a racing game played mid-movie. Like, I thought I was watching Spy Kids for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Because the first street race, and it's only in the first street race, they just go full on, like, Shark Boy and Lava Girl CG with the nitro. And then he still loses.
He still loses because he's bad at it.
I had a very good time, and I am interested in proceeding. Whenever, maybe that's the tradition. After every podcast, we watch the next episode.
Next one.
We do.
At that point, then we really need to cut this one short
No,
because it's 9.
probably not tonight. But the Fast and the Furious book club coming soon.
Listen, man, it's an experience, and you have to watch the movies. You really do. Because we got to get you to be able to watch Hobbs and Shaw, which is right now the best one before Stealth Fighter.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that... See, while I would appreciate being able to go out to a movie theater to see it, I'm really liking the idea that I'm going to be able to just watch Fast and Furious 9 in my home.
Yeah.
I'm really, really getting into that idea.
I hope it's not one of those $20 early access movies.
I don't
that
care.
They've started doing.
I will pay $30. I'm
all right.
Listen,
if anyone out there is
fully on board,
if anyone out there is close friend of the show, I guess you know what house to come
on over.
Or
I'll just go over. No, we'll just go over to fucking Matt and theirs, and I'll buy it.
God damn
and I will make Jose sit down and watch it. And I want to watch Jose beat another mannequin.
Oh God. Rejoice, YouTube comments. I have not watched any anime since the last podcast.
Yay!
I will not say anything about it. I'm going to talk about Sword Art Online instead.
Woo! You have been on this Fatal Bullet dick real hard.
I have finished the wall. All of my frames came in, if you were curious. And then also, the 4 frames that disappeared in the mail arrived the other day. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with those.
I don't think I've ever heard somebody rhythmically hammer something in as much as you. You actually had an Osu rhythm going on every time, to the point where it was making me very upset because I didn't know what it was.
Oh.
Because I was like, it was like today. Did you hear today where
So I heard the ones at the door,
Mm-hmm.
which is our neighbors. You can only really hear it at the door through sound system. So it's not that big a deal because we're very rarely standing at our front door doing nothing.
Yeah.
I also heard people directly above us, which, you know what? They can get even every now and then. They put up with a lot.
They do. No, but I was saying the fire alarm or something was going off outside.
No, I slept right through that.
Yeah,
apparently.
I didn't. I woke up and it was like I was having a really weird dream.
Yeah.
So I'm like mid sleep. I'm hearing that and it sounded like a heart monitor. And I've been in and out of the hospital for a while, like trying to take care of my health.
Oh no, you thought you were Ash
I thought
Ketchum's?
it was in. I thought it was fucked, bro. I was like, dude, what is going on? I'm like trying to go back to sleep and it's still in my dreams. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, it is just that meme. Wake up, wake up, wake up. And I finally woke up and I walked outside and I was like, if this sound, because here's the thing. There is a sound in my room specifically that I found out was your AC thing you let me have. It was just making a
I
rattling
heard that.
sound.
I'm like, is that the fan I gave you?
No. I got another fan because that one just doesn't. It's not for my. I'm a big boy. I need a bigger fan.
Fair enough.
But there's another that fan was rattling essentially, and I didn't know where it was. So, but for whatever reason, I let the door open and that rattling was just as loud. So I was hoping that when I opened that door, it was going to get louder, and thankfully it did. And if it didn't get louder when I opened that door, and I still heard the same sound, I was like, I'm definitely in a coma.
Yeah.
100 fucking percent.
So yeah, Sword Art Online. I didn't forget, guys. Don't worry. I have gotten back. I've gotten back into Fatal Bullet. Well, I was back into Fatal Bullet. It was a really nice in-between game before the Strive beta started, and before Persona 5 Strikers came out, which is the majority of what I have to talk about. But I finished Fatal Bullet, and I think for a solid week and a half, from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day, me and a couple of people, Lord Jesus Crust in the chat if he's here, on that Fatal Bullet grind, making the number go big. That is a really fun game. It's not a perfect game, and I think a lot of the enjoyment I get from it comes from obviously being a fan of the series, but considering how many people over the last couple of days we've managed to pick the game up and start playing it, It's really fun, and it's a lot of fun in co-op. There isn't a lot to do if you're solely trying to make your number big, but I played through it, did a bunch of co-op stuff, got through the main story, all the DLCs, and then the last DLC that they added is a 300-floor randomly generated dungeon where you start from level 1, and your progress is tied specifically to that, like, mode and that dungeon. And then as you progress, you're, like, constantly respecking and picking gear up, and, like, it's cool. It was fun. It was fun to go back through. And I do recommend Fatal Bullet. You can skip the cutscenes. This is a weird thing I kept coming across in, like, Steam guides and Steam reviews and stuff. People seem to be really mad that Kirito's in it, which I feel like is getting mad that Goku is in a Dragon Ball game. So if you pick the game up, he's gonna be there.
Why does Dragon Ball FighterZ have 300 Gokus? Because there's 300 Gokus.
There's 300 Gokus, but I just mean like one Goku. That's like getting like I can't believe Naruto is in this Ultimate Ninja Storm game.
Ninja Storm Naruto game.
But yep, I convinced a bunch of people to pick it up, and I've managed to say quite a bit of my piece. And I've turned a couple opinions around, and I think I'm going to watch through the whole series again with some people, providing the light novel perspective commentary.
Well, because you know why it's even funnier to watch it with you?
Yeah.
Because there's always the one part where you go, see, this is the bad part.
This is the one where
he shouldn't have done this.
This is the part where Reki Kawahara went on Twitter and apologized to the voice actresses.
It's bad
because it's bad.
Yeah, when you loaded up the episode and it was like,
and there was a Crunchyroll content warning.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, it's rough.
I did see. Speaking of content warning, I forgot to put that in my week, but go right ahead.
No, that's pretty much everything I had to say about
Strikers.
Fatal Bullet.
2 Strikers.
Strikers. Oh, this is news. Okay. I've been playing Persona 5 Strikers. It came out right in the middle of the Strive beta, and I put a couple hours in while the Strive beta was dead. And I'm currently 30 hours in, and I think I'm 10 hours away from beating it. Strikers is it's fantastic. It's really great. It's the best OVA to a game I've ever played.
How do you feel about the combat?
It's not a Muso.
No, it's an RPG.
It's not an RPG. Well, it's more RPG than Muso. I'd say it's 80% just Persona and maybe 20% action game. It's maybe a Muso for
did Atlas
like 3 fights every now and then?
It feels like Atlas had a huge hand in it. Or did they just let the guys do it and they fucking nailed it?
I don't know. This feel like calling the if they had called this Persona 5 2, fine. Yeah. I don't think every game should be like this going forward. It's not like a Final Fantasy VII remake situation. But there isn't... I can't describe something more satisfying than what used to take 5 turns to set up, now being your action game combo, where you are knocking someone into the air, switching personas, concentrate, switch personas, defense down, switch characters, attack up on Joker, switch back to Joker, like... hit the weakness, spike them back down, all-out attack, like...
See, I don't know. I see that, and I see the gameplay, and I'm like, honestly, I would play SMT like this. Not the Muso shit, but, like, give me more...
If the next Raido Kuzunoha game played like this, and it should, I'd be okay. And I'd be like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I can 100% say with the utmost certainty that no one is playing the game correctly. I've had multiple conversations with friends where it's like, I cannot get past this boss. And I'm like, are you debuffing them and hitting them with their weaknesses?
Are you playing Persona? No.
That's a switch.
Why aren't you playing Persona?
And it's like, the two things I've seen are, this game is way too hard. This game is way too hard, and I'm on normal. I'm like, okay, you didn't read the tutorial. It's like, you know, Persona tutorials. It's a tiny text box that might be 3 pages long.
Yeah.
3 tiny text boxes. You didn't read that. Okay, this is the solution. It shouldn't be that hard anymore. And the other thing is, this game is stupid easy. It's just a dumb move, so I can just pick Makoto and square. You can't do that either. I turned it to hard mode for 5 seconds and died instantly.
Insane.
And you can change it at any time. But I didn't have an actual, like, in-game depth that wasn't caused by me just being stupid. Like, I didn't have a challenging fight until maybe, like, 25 hours in or so.
Oh, so you're like blazing through it now.
I'm 30 hours. I've put the 30 hours in over the past maybe 3 days.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I play Persona games.
I can't talk. Remake was... I beat Remake in a weekend, so...
Yeah. But, story... Yeah, it's Persona with some slight Muso dressings, but it's not... It doesn't have the Muso structure of, here's a big open map. You have to capture points. It's not what it is. It's a linear action game. You get dropped in kind of an open, explorable area. It's more open than like a palace would be in Persona 5. But for the most part, it's a guided, story-driven experience. Story's great. All the new characters are great. Music is great. It's good.
Did you catch that your phone companion, Emma? Not Sophie, I think. But Emma is voiced by Siri.
It sounded so similar that I didn't look it up,
Yeah,
but
it is the actual
that's
voice
pretty
actor
good.
for Siri.
So yeah, the game itself is great.
Don't look up that voice actor and what they do in that game, because I think it's a spoiler.
The PC port, on the other hand, because I've been playing on PC, it's a little wonky.
Really?
And some of that is just due to the English release. The voice mixing is bad.
That sucks.
And I'm sure it's because everyone recorded from their homes under their different setups. So the compression's all over the place. Sometimes Ryuji will be like dead silent, and then Morgana will yell at you, and you're both standing right there. Sometimes you're in a room, and the delay on the echo will be different for certain characters. It's kind of all over.
Seeing as how when they announced Persona Strikers and the people who were reacting to it were all in their homes.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think you're on 100% there. I think it's a case of everyone's at their homes recording this and there's nothing else that can be done.
Yeah, and it's not super bad. It's literally like one room every I'll call them chapters where it's like the echo is all over the place and it's distracting. Otherwise, it's just kind of annoying. The part that's a little more than just distracting are the crashes, to the point where for an hour I could not start a boss fight because it would crash at the exact same cutscene transition point, and whether I was in full screen, borderless windowed, the resolution, whether I ran it as an administrator, whether I tried to skip the cutscene, whether I let it play, whether I was alt-tabbed, I could not get past this crash until finally it just kind of worked. And I don't know if console players are having the same issues, but it was definitely an issue on PC.
I don't think so. I think, unfortunately, a lot of people have been having like a decent experience on PS4.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
And I've seen the PC, again, Steam forums might be the worst place I've ever tried to find information. Mm-hmm. I would rather get help from 4chan.
Oh no,
honestly.
Okay, that's a take,
dude. The Steam forums are bad. They are really bad. That was an exaggeration, but the Steam forums are still really bad.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, but people are having black screen issues. People are having crashing issues. For me, it's just been crashes. Usually, it's not a huge deal, and I save often enough where it's not a problem. Game doesn't have autosave, so save often if you play it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very, very Persona. But yeah, aside from crashes, it was 100% worth the wait. I'm really enjoying it. I hope there is a good amount of post-game content. It doesn't seem like there's going to be. A lot of the side content kind of comes as you go. It's still like... Because the whole premise, and without spoiling too much, is that it's a big road trip. It's a road trip movie. So you stay in towns for only a certain amount of time. And then once you finish a chapter, it's like, all right, this is your last chance. Buy what you got to buy here. Get whatever unique items. Do whatever unique social events you need to do. Because once we move on, we're not coming back. And so I've been doing all side content as I go. And that includes the optional requests that you can revisit later. But that also means, like, by the time I get to the end of this, I think it'll probably just be done. There's a new game plus with an extra difficulty. I'll probably jump back into that and mess around because the game's just so much fun to play. But My biggest takeaway is that if they had to wait until Persona 5, if they had to wait to make Persona 5 Arena, I'm happy they waited for all of these fucking awesome characters. Because
Wolf looks really cool. I like Wolf.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, but it's
Zenkichi
it's story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tried to avoid it. He's on the cover.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the cover. I don't care.
Fair
It's
enough.
like the Haru thing. It's like, you get Haru? Like, people got surprised by that?
That's not the spoiler on the cover of that game. But yeah, no. Sophie is awesome. Zenkichi is awesome. There's a bunch of other side characters that are all really cool. And yeah, that fighting game, whenever it gets made, now that Royal is out and you get all the characters from that, now that Scramble's out, that's going to have a good starting roster before you even add in all those other fucking losers. The Scooby-Doo gang and the shooty bunch.
You think it would use the Exard engine?
It would have to.
It'd have to?
It'd have to. I think you need the dynamic angles and like for the all-out attacks and stuff. But I feel like you wouldn't have to.
No, what I'm saying is, would it use the Strive engine or the Exard engine? I don't know if those are different.
Oh, it's Strive from here on out.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Strive from here on out.
That game's gonna look really good.
Yeah, it's gonna look good. It did make me sad though, because I realized that if Persona 5 Royal ever comes to PC, 1, I hope it doesn't have the same amount of issues that Scramble has, and 2, that'll probably still be locked 30. Because all of the UI was animated at 30. And unless you reanimate all of it, or you just speed it up.
I didn't even think about that.
Wah, wah.
That totally makes sense. 100%.
Which, guess what? Persona 5 with modding? That's enough for me. Whatever. I'll play it again. I'll buy it again. But yeah, Scramble's been great. I'm happy I have another soundtrack to endlessly listen to in my car. It has completely replaced what Yakuza 7 was, because I've just been listening to that soundtrack, which is very good as well. It's not... There's not a lot of Persona-sounding songs in Scramble, though, which is a little disappointing.
It does sound a little all over the place, but I like it more for that. I think that's my favorite interpretation of Last Surprise.
No. Like, the returning Persona songs all sound great. The things that were clearly composed by Shoji Meguro or the typical Atlas crew.
Yeah.
But there are like the dungeon songs, they're just not even close.
Are they closer to SMT?
No.
Oh.
No, they feel like they got the other studio to compose them.
That sucks.
There's a lot of composers on the soundtrack. All of the stuff in town, all the battle themes are all amazing. The remixes of older songs are all incredible. But the dungeon overworld songs, that's the only place that it really comes through, but you hear it a lot because you're going through dungeons. Yeah, they just don't fit.
Speaking of which, did you see that Square Enix totally dropped all of the remake soundtrack on Spotify now?
Hell yeah.
So, I think you already have it, but...
Yeah, but that's good that everyone can hear the
10-minute
10-minute and 50-second long motorcycle song.
Fuck, it's so good.
It's very good.
Genova Quickening. Oh, I can't wait to...
And then haven't played anything else. Drive was a big thing.
Yeah. I did unfortunately watch one anime. I talked about it before.
That's true. I don't know why you don't just watch good stuff. You just watch stuff like this, and then I gotta listen to, well, they just don't make anime like they used to.
No. So when we had that conversation, I was definitely like, look, when your hentai purveyor, hanime.com, by the way, or .net, whichever they were, hanime, go watch them. They're great. When they upload the first episode to the site, you have to wonder, what the fuck is this series about? And you watch it and you go, it belongs here.
Television broadcast.
So the television broadcast, I did watch both censored and uncensored. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about a redo of Healer, which really pisses me off because I have never heard of a more, like, in terms of magic, I like the idea. I don't know what predatory healing is, but it sounds fucking ridiculous as a magic system.
I think you found out.
I found out what he uses it for, but like the idea that he's simultaneously healing people and able to also siphon experience from them, I thought was a cool concept. And I was like, are they going to do anything cool with this? No. So what healing does in that whole fucking one, so like the whole setup is basically, Homeboy is a hero. He's like, it's like a traditional RPG world where there's heroes of all types. There's a sword hero, a gun hero, a magic hero.
So he's not a guy got hit by a car.
No, it's not an isekai.
But it is a Shield Hero ripoff.
Yes? I don't know. I've never seen Shield Hero.
Shield Hero is about 4 heroes, one with a shield, one with a spear, one with a sword, one with a...
Yes, but the heroes are all massive, just awful fucking people.
Yeah, so it's like Shield Hero.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I've never seen Shield Hero, so I can't say.
I haven't either, but I know the
So
premise.
basically, at the end of they get to the final battle, and they're fighting a demon.
Sure.
And they, Homeboy finally, gets up and, kills the demon lady and picks up the final item, the Philosopher's Stone. And he learns that he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. So he uses it to, quote-unquote, heal the world to go back in time 4 years prior. And what he ends up doing is he has all the knowledge of what happened to him, and none of the timeline has changed at that point. So what he says is, I'm going to get revenge on every person who beat me, raped me, and used me to get the Philosopher's Stone. And I'm going to do that by building my resistances naturally. So he goes in the woods and starts getting high on mushrooms. He starts doing things like siphon experience from just things. And then he gets picked up by the mage lady. Or whatever the fuck she is. And she's like, you're a hero. And he's like, wow, it's super sick. And they take him to this fucking castle. And apparently, if you ingest the semen on any way of a hero, or any kind of fluid of a hero, whether it be blood or whatever, you also can level up. So everyone's trying to level up. So for the first half, it's just hentai. He's just fucking these maids. There's a portion where he shows up and he's just fucking these maids, and he's siphoning experience from them every single time. And then he passes out for whatever reason, and then it turns into an awful, miserable, terrible time. But the whole point of it is that he's essentially he's built up enough resistances to what they're going to do to him, so that at some point he just fakes it and then turns around and starts to reenact his revenge, which ends up in no part doing awful things to the mage lady, changing the guy who had imprisoned him to his face so he looks just like him, blaming the murder of this girl on him, but he didn't murder her. He changed her face and her identity and turned her into a willing sex slave. And then he just proceeds, it is like someone, the edgiest party member in your D&D group was just able to do whatever the fuck he wanted, is essentially what's happening in that whole fucking show. And I thought, there has to be a ceiling somewhere. And that motherfucker went straight through it. Because I sat there, and it was just like the Attack on Titan thing, where I was like, well, just like in a sense of I wanted to know what happened further, so I had to read ahead before the episodes came out.
Okay.
So Attack on Titan, I was like, this is amazing. Redo of Healer was like watching the Russian car crash compilations and going, but is there one do they ever get worse? And it does. And I read ahead, and it was not good. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if you've seen it in motion. It is a very highly produced show, as far as I can tell. The budget is high. And I'm trying desperately to think, how did this happen? It is, and the censored version, very much implied. They don't outwardly show a lot of things. In the uncensored version, it's just fucking hentai without the dick and the vagina. That's it. That's all it is. I watched that man get nutted on his face in several flashbacks. Like, it is just hentai. And I don't understand it. Because you watch the censored version and it's like, oh, well, nothing's happening. They just kind of cut to the aftermath of something and you're just like, who is this for? I don't understand. Because I've seen some degenerate shit, right? But, like, this shit is like, I'm trying to figure out, like, the power fantasy part of it.
It really sounds like, because the whole idea of Shield Hero is that it is a revenge fantasy. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
It's not like that, but this sounds like they only got the revenge fantasy part and they focused on that and they expounded upon it. Like, the fantasy genre, and I'm going to lump isekai and all that stuff into just the fantasy genre, because who fucking cares at this point?
Yeah.
It is just one big idea, one or two big ideas. Are you in the fantasy world, or did you go there from somewhere else? And then you extrapolate on, like, one pitch, one key selling point, and then the next show extrapolates on one part of that one show, and you just keep getting more and more hyper-specific to the point where it's like, even without all the disgusting shit, I hear this, it's like, yeah, it's about a hero that he can do anything because he got the stone and he goes back in time.
He literally does whatever the fuck he wants.
And he can just do whatever he wants.
He can just do whatever he wants.
He found a way to get experience really fast. I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
It is not, there is no stakes.
Like,
because at any time he can do whatever the fuck he wants because he literally won the game.
Yeah.
It is watching someone go on New Game Plus and go with the fucking rogue route. Yeah, that's all it is.
There's just so many shows like that. I don't care if they're a slime. I don't care if they're a man. I don't care if they're a woman. I don't care how many years it took. Why every time?
You know what the most egregious thing about that show is? It's not even what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's how much that show or that story attempts to basically justify his actions.
It paints him as the hero.
It paints
him as
he's not. It never at any point, because he has the evil, like, anime smile, the Akechi smile.
Oh no!
So, like, it's very obvious he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But then he'll do a piece of shit thing, and it'll have like a a minute to a 2-minute long fucking flashback of, this is why I am the way I am, and it's just like, you know,
all right, man.
It fucking stinks of like a Japanese teenager getting bullied in school, putting all of his worst thoughts into a trapper keeper, and putting it and creating a fucking exceedingly successful series in fucking Japan. They sold almost 1 million copies.
I'm gonna be real, Griffith. You've been through a lot of shit. Don't know if it's worth justifying sacrificing the Band of the Hawk. That was a pretty fucked up thing you did.
Yeah, but you know what the best part about that is that
he's the villain,
and it's also written well.
And it's written well,
you know.
And that arc happens like 100 chapters into the story.
Yeah.
And you've already been conditioned that the world sucks and it's not great.
Yeah. And like in Redo of Healer, it's like every episode starts off with, this is the pain I went through. This is the pain I would inflict. And it's like, bro.
Wait, but he won, right? He beat the guy, and he got the stone.
He got the stone.
Yeah.
And essentially what the whole thing is he just went back. He's doing New Game Plus.
Yeah.
So
why?
Because he wants to beat it harder. He was still... He basically, I don't, like, so the final battle doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's the first episode.
Yeah.
But he essentially, like, waits until all of the other heroes are down, except for, like, the mage hero, and doesn't heal him. Because he's, like, a traditional healer. He doesn't heal him. He just waits. So he uses, like, his healing technique to fight the demon and to get the fucking Philosopher's Stone. And then he just fucking absorbs it or heals it or does whatever he does with it, and he becomes a literal god. To the point where after the fucking second episode, The third episode starts off, and he's got his new little sex slave companion lady who's like fucking gaga about him. Of course she is. And he shows up to a town, and in this town, there's a whole bunch of like awful shit happening because there's like a plague happening. So what does this motherfucker do? He goes, I have a natural resistance to everything. I'm going to go ahead and put my blood and create a serum with all the knowledge I know and sell it for a price. So he does it. He uses that money to buy a slave girl.
That's where you lost me. I like Liz. I'm all for piece of shit entrepreneur.
Right.
You shouldn't buy a slave.
No. So he buys another slave girl who is like a wolf girl, and apparently he goes, I can make you powerful. You just gotta suck this dick. You gotta catch this nut in your throat, and you can just expand your level.
Yeah.
And she's like, sick, bro. And she does it, and it works. Like, that's the worst part, is that every single time he's pumping levels into these women, literally. Like, I just what he's doing. He's building, it's a fucking harem. It's a rape harem where he is constantly fucking winning. And there's nothing that can beat him because he won. He already fucking won.
So why do I have to watch this show then?
Exactly. What's the point?
So here's what I'm gonna say, is instead of watching redo of Healer, everyone should go watch Misfit of Demon Academy or something. It's about Satan getting reborn and going to the school that was spawned from his lineage, and it's that. Not the dark, horrible parts, but the shitty, overpowered protagonist parts. But it's like goofy and fun and kind of charming and kind of bad. It's a bad show, but at least it's enjoyable and it's kind of cute, and it might be satire. I don't know, but maybe watch that show instead.
Yeah,
because it's got a whole lot of look how cool our main character is. He's so strong. He's the demon lord, demon king. But then he also has maybe my favorite line of the year, or I guess of last year, which is like, yeah, I can kill anyone I want and then resurrect them as long as I bring them back within a couple of seconds. In the underworld, we call this the 3-second rule. And he says that to a crowd. A fucking stadium of people that don't laugh and just stare at him. He's like, man, that one used to kill. I don't know. Anyway, like, it's cute. It's terrible. But I would highly recommend watching that instead of whatever this is. In fact, I'd probably actually recommend you not watching anything instead of this.
Yeah.
Just go outside.
It is really upsetting how much fucking
lick a tree, smell a rose, do something.
Money is in that show, like every episode.
Light novels are crazy, man.
Because they have to sell the fucking titties.
Maybe you don't. Maybe it sells itself.
So news.
Oh shit.
Speaking of things that should have never happened, Anthem! Yay!
Who?
Exactly.
What's that Mass Effect spinoff?
Yeah, it's by the guys who made all the single player games.
Oh.
So a couple weeks ago, Jason Schreier had reported that Anthem Next was in development, and that EA was going to go into a meeting with them, in which there was going to be a announcement as to whether or not the continuation of Anthem was going to go forward. And it sounds like yesterday, I believe, it was the best experience to cap this off with is 6 minutes before this announcement. A gentleman had put on the Anthem Reddit, "I believe in Anthem," hashtag, and he showed his receipt of buying Anthem. 6 minutes later, they announced the cancellation of Anthem 2.0. So there's not even like DLC. There is just nothing coming to Anthem. Anthem is a dead game. Which,
what happened to that guy?
I didn't see any comments even left. I think he took the
take
L.
the L and go home.
I think he took the L and went home.
If he had the receipt on him, maybe he got to return it. Although, hey,
it was from Origin.
You're really
So no.
You're late. You're really late hopping on this train. Imagine you don't take a boat to the sinking ship. What?
No, I think the captain can turn it around.
Like the lifeboats are coming to the dock, and you're like, "Nah, can I just hop on the way
Can you
back?"
imagine someone trying to get onto the Titanic, like just trying to fucking get on? No, he's got it. It was fucking iceberg, dude. Like we fucking water's cold. Whatever. Like get over it.
There might still be food in the.
Yeah, dude.
Swim down, go back to the kitchen.
Like sunken cost fallacy is insane. It really is. There's a lot
but
of
there's
mental
no
gymnastics.
sunken cost if you haven't paid into it yet.
Right, but I mean, he didn't know. No one knew. But granted, at that point,
you should have by this. Like that's what I'm saying. If it was like a month after the game came out, or 2 months, or
like
3
if you
months,
bought it, you
bought
might as well
it.
keep it until see what happens.
Yeah, you never installed it. Why today?
Right.
Why yesterday? Why would you?
I just don't understand. So, like, the biggest problem that I have with it is an endemic of the whole situation that happens with these kinds of games, where so many people will pick it up and go, "I'll wait until it's fixed." Like with Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
where everyone's like, "I'll wait until it's fixed." It's like, no, the core problems are still fucking there and require giant reworks of code that could be possible. But you're talking about waiting for a game for another fucking year.
So, Phil,
so you spent $60 fucking dollars for an early access title that you were told got the full experience on.
So Phil, I get what you're saying, but Bungie is my friend, and I gotta help the homies out.
Listen, there's a difference between telling someone out of the gate that we're going to be games of service and doing what Cyberpunk did. Now, Anthem did explicitly say, hey, we have a plan. We have a fucking roadmap. And then what they didn't realize was none of the game worked. Resetera was posting pictures of the incredible work that the AI was doing, where you would get endgame masterwork gear, and it would be like adds 0% modifier to particular skill for 0 damage over 0 seconds.
Hell yeah.
And it totally seemed like it was being machine translated or something, but that was just in game. It was just how fundamentally broken Anthem was, and that's what I think the biggest problem was. Is that game wasn't that it wasn't ready. It was worse than that.
It just wasn't.
It just wasn't.
The game wasn't.
Like,
period.
And to sit there and to see so much money and time and investment and all this fucking work go down the drain because your higher ups can't fucking fathom the idea of not being able to board the hype train and just doubling down on the thing, which is why the other piece of news in conjunction with that is good news for BioWare fans, which is because of what happened with Anthem, they have given BioWare the okay to just make Dragon Age 4 a single-player title.
The most demeaning sentence I think I've ever read, which is EA allows BioWare to make Dragon Age a single-player RPG.
Right. With no service component, because they were going to launch it live as a service originally, and then they looked at this and they said, you know what? This ain't working. And Apex keeps on killing, so we're just going to go ahead. EA is still a bunch of fucking awful, cowardly villains, but I'm glad that they are finally starting to try to act like good people. You know what I mean? It's like when when the worst person you know donates like $10,000 to a good cause. Yeah, that money's probably gotten from like selling drugs to kids in elementary schools, but it's still.
But it's going back to those elementary schools.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's probably
it goes
cyclical.
back to pay for the books. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
I wouldn't say it's them doing something good. I think it's them like, this is the only way we're gonna make any of the money back. The only way we have any chance.
Oh, Red says I couldn't have. It was a post. It looks like I couldn't have timed this worse. Oh well, I've been meaning to play through the thing as it is for a couple of years now, and $10 isn't the end of the world.
Yeah,
which is true.
Yeah, for $10, it's a weekend.
That's a weekend.
Yeah. So
not a very well spent one.
no,
but.
I'm still not gonna play Dragon Quest, but you know, good on BioWare for getting to make the game they want to make. Maybe
Imagine that. Letting
I
your
don't know.
developer do whatever the fuck they wanted to do in the first place.
Do they even want to make it? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows?
We might as well go over like the two major events, get that out of the way that happened, which is the Direct and State of Play today.
Sure. I don't have very much to say about either.
Cool. If I remember correctly, I think the biggest thing was Triangle Strategy got announced, and then Splatoon 3 got announced.
Splatoon 3, Triangle Strategy, Mithra and Pyra and Smash. If you played those games, I guess I did.
I didn't actually see as much of like shit about the Pyra pick as I was expecting. And I don't know if that's because I have effectively removed Smash controversy from my feed.
No, I didn't see that much either. I mean, there was the typical, like, I can't believe they added another sword fighter. But also, I think people wanted those characters in the game. They were like, why weren't they here at launch? And Sakurai was like, we didn't have enough time. And so, like, this was kind of going to happen inevitably. So it's just like, yeah, they're here. And also, I think the design of the character is really cool. Not like the visual design, but the fact that it's two characters in one, like how Sheik and Zelda used to be, like not to the same degree. I think that's cool. Maybe that helped iron it out a little bit, but
I like the look of both of their abilities. Mithra being more, or Myra, Mithra, is it Mithra?
Mithra and Pyra.
Yeah, Mithra and Pyra. Mithra being more of like a speed-centric kind of almost projectile-based.
She's got counters and stuff. Pyra, she's got stronger smash attacks, and it's cool. It's going to be an interesting character. I'm excited to do my one stream playing Smash as the new character before forgetting the game exists entirely. And then Triangle Strategy, whatever that game is going to hopefully have its name changed to. Please.
I mean, we thought Octopath Traveler was going to have its name changed, and it never did.
I think Octopath Traveler is still weird and unique enough, whereas Triangle Strategy
is exactly what they wanted, though.
3 people in a strategy game nailed it.
Yeah. I
guess.
mean, they don't really need much else.
I haven't tried the demo yet, but I am very excited that it is a strategy RPG. I didn't know that before the Direct. I didn't even know what they were working on next, so that was a fun surprise for me. Splatoon 3 looks like more Splatoon. Good.
Splatoon 3 is really fun.
What else you got to do?
That's it for Nintendo Direct.
No More Heroes 3.
I completely forgot about No More Heroes 3, and as I continue to forget about No More Heroes 3, because in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about goddamn Superhero and how that would have been a way cooler fucking game.
Well, I'll tell you, it still would have looked like 144p.
It would have.
From a console capture.
But I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more, because I really think, like, honestly, the ship has sailed for me for No More Heroes. The No More Heroes collection came out, and I was like...
Switch, right.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it came out on other stuff, too.
I was like, you know what? Do I want to buy it for your Switch?
Yeah.
Not really. Like, do I want to buy it for my Switch? Not really. I'm.
No More Heroes is a much more fun series to think about.
Yeah.
Playing them is not all that fun.
Yeah, I'd agree. And then from what I saw, it didn't seem like they added a whole lot, and the game doesn't look good.
Game looks bad.
Game looks very bad. It's targeting 60.
Who cares?
It doesn't look good because of that.
You can do, and this is compromising a lot, but I'll say in the context of the Switch, you can do 720p 60. Fuck it, I'll take 480p 60. That's how, like 480p 60 undocked, 720p 60 docked. Or you could do like 720p with 1080p and it hits like maybe 30. I don't care if your game's running at 60 FPS if the resolution's 144p. And I'm not a massive, like, the game has to look perfect. I kind of am for the Switch because it's a full-price console and I'm buying $60 games for it. But at the same time, like, I can be pretty lenient. But with this game and with Deadly Premonition 2, as much as I love Swery, and as much as I'd love to play Deadly Premonition 2, I cannot justify paying $60
Apparently you're not
for that
missing
product.
much on
Sad.
Deadly Premonition 2. Apparently it was...
I just want to hear York talk.
You know what? There's an issue where you release something and a joke is made and you forget the reason why that joke was funny in the first place, so you try to expound on that.
Oh.
And then that becomes worse than what you had originally anticipated. So, because the way that Jim Sterling had put it, they were like... they came out and they just said, it's basically like just a bad game now. It used to be a bad game that was masterful in how serious it took itself and everything, but now it's
It
just
was
a
charming
bad game.
and cute.
Yeah, now it's just a bad game that's also incredibly offensive to trans people. So
Yeah, and I guess patches have gone out, but
that didn't change anything.
no, they didn't.
Nope.
Ruh-roh.
They apparently doubled down even harder.
Especially weird for Swery, considering his previous game that he just released.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
It doesn't make
like
sense.
when I
How the
saw
fuck
that
do
article,
you-
I don't know what the fuck happened there because Swery seemed like a really progressive dude, and I guess he just fucked up or trans something.
Listen, guys,
up.
and this is
I don't
this
know.
is a conversation that I had, or that it was trying to be had with me, but I was not going to give it any fucking thought, because I was posting. I think it was someone was the concept of gatekeeping came back out again, and it was in response to a topic about like here's a fucking anime trope that needs to die. This one character whose entire trope is he's just a pervert and does terrible things to women. And like they had that one, there was a couple examples in there, but the one that I think you'll understand is I don't remember his name, but it's the fucking guy from MHA who's got like purple dots on his head.
Grape boy, yeah,
Boy,
the character no one likes,
Right.
Not a single fan,
Right.
Of
and,
that guy.
and I guess the counter argument to that was that's the point of that character, and they were like, yeah, but that's stupid because nothing really gets gained from that.
He doesn't develop as a character.
Right.
At all.
Right.
And I will add on that I also think another trope that needs to die is the female character who solely exists to be objectified and groped.
Oh,
and
yeah. 100%.
Because that took me out of Fire Force completely. And it sucks because I liked that character.
Which character was that? It was
the girl with the...
Does she have her shit open?
Yeah, and she had like the cat ears and stuff. She's a cool character. She does a lot of really cool shit. People just trip into her boobs all the time, and it's played as a joke. And during dramatic scenes, it'll happen, and it takes you out completely.
Yeah.
And I don't think, back to the gatekeeping. It's like,
I don't think you need to add. My point was like, I was trying to like say, I don't necessarily want people to have to be overtly progressive. Like I'm not trying to like make it to a point where a person can't make a terrible or problematic character if it makes sense in the storyline.
Yeah.
But, like, if it's in service to something that you find to be just for the sake of offending people, like, you can do it, sure, but I'm going to call you an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to do it. Because it's me. Because I should know better, right? Like, I've been there, done that, and I've fucking crossed that bridge already, and I've understood the error of my ways.
Yeah.
But, like, the idea that so many people can't fucking do that, and can't like separate where it's like offensive humor doesn't have to actually be offensive. In fact, if like the idea of like trying to say something that might be remotely offensive is you're trying to inform the person of a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's why dark humor and dark comedy works so well, because it's about trying to put emphasis on this is a bad thing. But like if the joke is ha ha person got molested or ha ha girl is man, it's like what do you fucking gain from that? Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be said about that. You're just pushing a really shitty narrative for people that and I get this fucking like argument back too. Oh, it's only represents like maybe 2 to 3% of people. It's like who the fuck cares? I've met enough trans people in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't fucking go out as often anymore. But I've met enough trans people in my life to be able to be like, I know enough of these kinds of people where I should probably not fucking be an asshole.
And
about
also,
it.
why should 2% or whatever of people be offended for no reason anyway? Like for no reason, you couldn't write a different joke,
right?
Like, yeah, I don't know I didn't know it was like that for Deadly Premonition 2, but like,
yeah, it just
again, that was super shocking. Like reading about it when it happened, because like it stood.
I go back and
it didn't look like it came from Swery.
I don't think like here's the thing is that like Swery's what he thinks he's Suda 51.
Yeah,
but you know what the difference between him and Suda 51 is? Suda 51 can write.
Yeah,
like it's not necessarily very easy to follow. But like Suda has a reason for the things that he does and he says.
Yeah, and 99% of them are EA.
Yeah.
Like almost all of it.
What do you mean?
Was it EA or Ubisoft?
For which one?
For Shadows of the Damned.
Yeah.
Yeah, 99% of the things he writes about are because of that game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what I meant.
100%.
Yeah.
100 fucking
Yeah,
percent.
he just had one big event he can draw on infinitely.
But like, people sit there and it's like you look at the Silver Bullet trilogy and all that kind of shit, and you're like, there's a lot of craziness happening, and there's a lot of it takes a very like. I actually kind of put him a little bit above Kojima because Kojima
Genius Kajumbo.
dead man. Like that's where we're at. Like there was a moment. Like here's the thing, Kojima needs a fucking like
but
operator alongside him to like rein him in.
Yeah.
Suda 51 is just fucking insane, and he'll just write shit. Now occasionally, is it about exploitation? But yes, but like it's more grindhouse. Like I always look at like his games as like grindhouse games.
Yeah.
Lollipop Chainsaw, No More Heroes, Killer is Dead, and then Killer 7. Yeah. How do you write a game like Killer 7 and not think that guy's a fucking genius? Like, honestly, it's a fucking game about politics.
I just wish he knew how to make a video game. That's
Me too.
All. That's it. That's literally all I want.
If you let Kojima develop a fucking Suda 51 led game, and Yoko Taro's there to fuck around for a second, I'd probably nut all over it.
I think that's too many eggs in the basket.
Right. That's why I would want it. I want whatever fucked up, awful concoction that would be. Sometimes too many chefs in the kitchen makes for a really impressive meal, because they all put something in, and it's maybe not a fucking great one, but you'll remember it. Goddammit.
But I want a good one.
I do too.
I just want one good game with a grasshopper logo on it.
I do too.
One that doesn't make me want to die to play.
I thought No More Heroes, aka goddamn superhero,
was gonna
be it.
Oh well. Thanks, Nintendo. Anyway, State of Play happened literally hours
Part
ago.
2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
State of Play.
The only new thing that was announced was
the closure of Japan Studio. Yeah.
That sucks.
Wasn't that fun?
That's fucking awful.
Literally, same day as their State of Play. Hey guys, I hope you didn't like Ape Escape too much. Hey guys, I hope you weren't expecting another Loco Roco game.
It's unfortunate, but Sony Santa Monica is making way more money than Sony Japan right now.
I am just of the position of the reason I kept buying PlayStations was because of the Japanese developer support. So if there's not going to be as much Japanese developer support, I hope they all move to PC and I can be done with PlayStation. That's literally the only thing keeping me there. I couldn't give a shit about the American efforts, the American Sony efforts. If I never played a Ratchet and Clank game again, I'd live. I don't ever need to play. I'll never play God of War.
Yeah.
I'll never play. I keep wanting to call it Log Horizon. That's not what it's called. It's just Horizon. My brain.
It's like, what are you talking? Oh my god.
No, I need more database and less.
Living in the database. Wow.
Yeah.
Yuffie.
Yuffie. So yeah, the only thing of note. Well, there is a cool Deathloop trailer. I'm excited for Deathloop.
Returnal looks cool. Deathloop looks cool.
Returnal, really, just add a second costume and I'll be down.
Kena looks cool. They announced that Sifu game, which looks like a really cool martial arts.
That game looked cool.
Title?
It's like a beat 'em up, but it's filmed like Old Boy.
I don't know what the intent was behind him getting older. I don't know if that was like you're going over like a karate master's journey or something. I don't know.
It'd be cool.
Be fucking sick.
I will say the one thing about the old game, the PlayStation 2 looking one. It doesn't look like a PlayStation 2 game, but it looks inspired. What the hell was it called? It's Bow game.
Oh, Kena. That's what I'm saying.
That's gonna just be a Pixar movie you occasionally hit square during. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the camera work, the way the cutscenes are directed, and what the gameplay looks like. And it's gonna be a movie you occasionally hit square during.
It might make you.
That's
there was a line in that trailer that made me just kind of want to like go ugh, which was, this thing will lead you to the sacred shrine, and I was like,
Even
and then followed up by Solar Ash, which looks like incredible from a creative standpoint. Like, I'm not trying to like shit on it. I think Kinu looks like a fantastic game.
I said it when we were watching it. Hey Sony, yeah, you did make a game that looks like a Pixar movie. You did it. And there's value there.
Well, it wasn't Sony, it was an indie developer.
Indie developer.
Yeah.
Regardless. This is a PlayStation title.
Yeah.
Point is, this is what is being pushed. Is the movie that you click a button during. And that is all well and good for a certain audience. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Solar Ash looked great. Deathloop looked great. There was one other one, I feel, besides the beat 'em up. I can't remember.
Can't remember.
Oddworld was there. I don't have any interest in it, but it looks good. I can't do narrative platformers because all I want to do is air dash and wall jump, and I don't think Abe's gonna be doing that.
No.
In Soulstorm.
I'll probably give it a shot if I ever get a PS5, but we'll see. Speaking of which, why we need a PS5? I need a PS5.
Yeah.
Immediately, please.
There's gonna be a Yuffie.
She looks fucking sick.
It looks really cool. They're adding a 19th episode to the PlayStation 5 port. It'll be DLC for PlayStation 5. I guess the upgrade will be free, along with 60 FPS and faster loading. It's gonna make replaying that game that's already enough value there to make me want to replay it. Yuffie will never leave the party if that's the way she continues to play in all the remake games going forward. So that'll be really cool.
I'm really excited to see what kind of like battle system improvements, because I'm sure you saw it, but character linking is in.
Sort of. I saw little icons and I kept looking at the screen.
But I was looking at the bottom right, and I was like, is there a difference? There is. And they were highlighted in blue together when they were doing simultaneous attacks with each other.
Okay.
And when they were not highlighted and she was alone, but he was still in the party, the highlight was off. So like, combo attacks between your teammates were added in a year, which makes me feel like part 2 is probably not that far, actually.
Or they were making this instead, and part 2 is not even started yet.
Yeah, but I guess until we see if there's more footage or anything like cutscenes, like, because the other thing I heard, like, the other thing that's happening is that there are other, mocap actors. The Aerith and Sephiroth mocap actor did a 4-hour session a while back. If that's in this intergrade game,
yeah,
I don't think so.
It's for the mobile game. Which, that is 100% a gacha game. 100%.
That wouldn't make sense.
Yes, it
on
would.
On what they want to do?
You haven't played enough gacha games. Do you remember Aerith being there for the Scorpion fight in the first reactor?
No.
In the party with the fight with Cloud? It was Cloud, Barret, and Aerith in the first reactor.
Yeah.
That's a gacha game, 100%. Aerith was the banner. It was a 5-star. You got her.
Why would you hurt me like this?
No, I'm not hurting you. I'm preparing you. You're going to watch the cutscene, and then the battle's going to start, and you're going to be playing as Aerith, Swimsuit Aerith, and Yuffie, fighting the Scorpion in the reactor.
I think it's wild that they're gamifying Advent Children and basically remaking Before Crisis. And Crisis Core, technically. So, like...
Yeah, those are the events. You're
yes.
playing through the main Final Fantasy VII game, and they have a winter event where it's Before Crisis, where you can get all of the members of the Shinra Secret Service, the Turks. Thank you, me. That's what that game is. I looked at the UI, the characters in that fight, because if it wasn't a gacha game, they just would have showed Cloud and Barret. Or they would have showed Cloud, Barret, and Tifa during the second reactor. That's a gacha game, and the sooner all of you emotionally prepare, it might be a really good one. You don't know. Because, like Dissidia, Opera Omni, you're rolling for, like, weapons only. Characters are all free, and they're based on story progression. So, it might be like that. Or it might be like Kingdom Hearts, where you're getting medals with JPEGs on them. Who can say? But at least you'll be able to play the Battle Royale in between events.
That did look, actually, unironically, a little fun.
It reminded me of Comrades.
Yeah, it did. And Comrades was fun for the time.
Yeah. It was fun for the one stream, even though I don't think we ever actually got it to work.
I think if I can get this battle royale game running on BlueStacks, and it's fun enough,
you're gonna be a mobile game battle royale streamer. Is that it?
Yes. Or it'll be the game. I just need a game that I can play it can just turn on, and it's a thing.
Strive comes out in April.
Yeah, but that's Strive. Like, of course I'm gonna go back and fucking play Strive, but whatever, you know.
Well, I guess we'll know in 2022.
It is kind of disappointing that those games ended up like I knew they were gonna be mobile games, but like still, part of me thought,
God, we're so close. All we need is the Shinra SimCity game. We're so close. I don't like how upset you always look when I say that. Doesn't that sound awesome? Am I crazy?
You're not crazy. It's
again,
just...
Hojo pops up. Hojo pops up on your screen. It's like, yeah, they're starving down in the bottom plate.
No,
but I really got to make this fucked up looking dog. It's gonna be so cool. Please, President Shinra.
Can you give me 500,000 gil to inject drugs into this dog? Why? Science.
What if it's like Crusader Kings, like that, where it's like a giant 4X game, where you're sending in Turks to other nations.
It would be it would have to be canon. It would have to be a Civilization game that takes place during the fucking War of Wutai.
Yeah. And
you would have to expand your entire fucking like monopoly across Gaia. Like you would have to do it.
That'd be pretty good.
That I would play. But not the Final Fantasy 15 mobile game where you see a Noctis that looks just like he does. I don't know how they there's a look that like mobile game characters have, but they're not real ones, but like the ones that are in advertisements. You know what I mean?
You're not talking about the Final Fantasy 15
I'm not talking about Pocket Edition.
I'm
talking about the fucking city builder. That basically the framework is already. See, when I look at you that way,
not Clash of Clans. I'm never thinking that. I'm thinking
right.
SimCity.
But you know what? But you know why I'm saying that
because you know it's going to be on your phone. Yeah.
No, it's going to be that. It's just going to be. They're going to change Noctis to President Shinra.
Yeah, that's going to sell. You put him in the icon. The fucking Clash of Clans guy gets downloads. Damn.
Fuck me, dude.
Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy 15 and porn games. They're both the same kingdom builder using the same CG with you see the ad, or you used to before ad block, of just the angel woman and the devil woman, and it's like only you can lead them.
Have you seen? Okay, I gotta find the one. Have you seen the ones where like the developers will either pay somebody or like specifically create?
It's always Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Oh.
No, this one in particular I remember was very fucking like strange, where it was like, hey guys, I'm just hanging out with my girl here, and it's one of the characters from the game, and he goes, show him the thing, and she does like fire in her hands, and he's like, can I get a kiss? And then she like blows him a kiss and goes,
yeah, it's AFK Arena. Not to kill any possibility of that sponsorship, but
it's not AFK Arena.
Oh, okay. AFK Arena, your ads are getting a little.
I think it was League of Angels or something.
Wild.
League of Maidens.
Probably. Jesus. I could have done the Persona.
You
the
know
Joker
who,
Queen collab.
You know who I'm putting in my AFK Arena team is Markiplier and Joker. That's a fantastic combo.
Markiplier and Queen. Come on.
You're
She's
right.
got the nuclear skills.
That's right.
You need to get fucking Hannibal and and Spider-Man. What the hell is it? I can't remember his name. Peter Parker. He's British. He's gonna be Nathan Drake.
What the fuck is his name?
It's I'll just say Tobey Maguire and you fill in the blanks. Tobey Maguire and Hannibal Buress. Tom Holland, thank you. Yeah, get Tom Holland and Hannibal Buress to advertise your free. Shut the fuck up, Creative Clouds.
Hey, pay us.
I did.
Hey, pay us.
I actually don't think I've. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that on stream. Shut.
Hey, pay us.
It's gone. Okay.
Please.
Yeah, Tom Holland, Hannibal Buress need to do the advertising for every free-to-play game, or any game with a free trial. You have to get them.
Oh, I forgot. There was another game event that I completely glossed over that I did do a reaction to. BlizzCon. Do you know BlizzCon happened?
Oh, you guys want to hear my BlizzCon impression? Go ahead and tell your story, Phil.
Sure. So BlizzCon. I see you muted. Is there a reason you're doing that?
I'm just doing my Twitch impression.
Oh, was it like that?
Oh, you didn't know? I forgot.
Didn't know anything.
Yeah,
I watched it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. So on Twitch, I guess, whatever band they had perform.
I know what you're talking about. No, the reason why that's funny is it's Metallica.
Yeah.
And you know why, right? Because Metallica was the one that started the DMCA shit in the first place.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
that
so back in the
funny.
Napster days,
Yeah.
right? They're the ones who caused such a ruckus and created all these fucking awful laws, like with people, or they didn't create them themselves, obviously, but like they worked towards getting these laws being passed.
Yeah.
And them seeing them actually get potentially fucking muted. But then, everyone's like laughing at it, and then someone in comments was like, this is kind of what they wanted, though. They would want you to go buy their shit to listen to it. And I was like, maybe. Fuck Metallica. Whatever.
I just like the idea of Twitch having to play the Kevin MacLeod Jingle Bell song that I always play, the royalty-free one.
That was fucking hilarious.
I didn't hear the song they played. I just heard that it was some royalty-free thing. I'll have to go look at it after the stream because it's just in concept. That is fucking hilarious.
The reason why I think it's going to be even more aggressively stupid that they did that is I think XQC was watching it on YouTube and like he had no idea. He was like, oh, fuck, it's Metallica, whatever. And if he wasn't banned for it, and that man is like one of the largest people on the platform, Twitch can fuck off, like 100%, because they've banned him for less.
Wait. He was streaming on YouTube, or he was watching the YouTube?
No, he was watching YouTube. He was
Twitch.
streaming on Twitch.
Okay.
And then he's like, fuck copyright. He literally said, fuck copyright, I don't give a shit. If he has no repercussions whatsoever on his account, I'm gonna continue playing copyrighted material on my fucking on the hipsters on purpose, because they can go fuck themselves.
I just think they might be a little busy, what with all the new advertisements that Twitch is pushing out.
They took them off.
That's because we found out.
Yeah, that's because somebody fucking looked behind the curtain.
Someone said, "Hey, Twitch, I hate unions, huh? You want to move the shotgun away from that woman's face for a couple seconds? Come talk to us."
I can't believe in any way that we would allow this on Twitch. We don't share political stances. We're taking these off immediately.
Do you guys remember when it was outside of your control, Twitch would put in a go vote button on your stream? Listen, some people do need the reminder.
We're on this platform because we have to be.
What I'm saying is that you can't pull the political card and then do that.
And then fucking do that. 100%.
I'm a big fan of the new service Twitch is offering, where for $9 a month that you pay directly to them, you don't have to watch ads anymore. Really convenient. That came out after their horribly invasive ads. That's a neat one. I figured that'd get lumped in with Amazon Prime. We're already paying for that, but no. So I'll just not watch any Twitch streams, I suppose. I apologize to my friends. I will retweet all of your streams. I will open it, and I will put it in a browser on mute.
I'm at the point where I just do what Robo did earlier when we were talking about it, when you were talking about during the State of Play stream.
Yeah.
He was like, I just mute, and I just walk away for a second, and I come back. And I was like...
Thing is, I'm already forcing myself to go on Twitch to, find something to watch. I'll find something on YouTube.
If you don't watch content on Twitch, that makes total sense.
But even if I wanted to try something new, because I used to love just going, and it's like, what the fuck are people speedrunning right now? Who's a speedrunner with 3 viewers? Let me just go fucking see. And I remember I would just go around, I'd click on random streams, I'd turn them on. Now it's like, what is this person I know and like doing? Click, 30-second ad. All right, I guess I'll wait. fades back in. Second ad starts playing. All right, I guess I'll watch someone else. This person has 40 viewers. They're playing a game I like. 40 viewers. Click. Unskippable ad. Screen in the top right. Go back to the first stream. Screen's on. I'm watching. I remember I was watching Juyuna play Guilty Gear Strive before we all had access to it. And it was getting close to the end of the match. And the thing we always talk about happening totally happened, where it's like, oh boy, I wonder who's going to win the match. Ad starts. Stream is in the top right above the chat. Don't worry. We'll let you get back to the streamer in 30 seconds. 60 seconds. 90 seconds. 3 ads are playing now. Or you just pay the $9 a month and you don't have to... Like, nah,
No, Twitch can go fuck themselves. And it's starting to seem like more and more like YouTube is the way to go, which is fucking weird to say.
Yeah. But then the problem that comes with that is like... yes, it is more enjoyable to... It's a more enjoyable experience streaming on YouTube. I don't want to flood my channel with streams if I'm also trying to mostly focus it on videos and like edited content. There's no separation. That is just your channel. It just all funnels into one spot.
Well, that's always going to be what they're trying to do. That's what all the fucking, did you see what Twitter's doing?
Yeah. Hey, make sure you guys give us those super follows. It's the only way.
The only way you'll see me get
Fuck
those
it,
hot tweets and hot takes.
Now
I'm gonna start charging for the hot takes I have on Twitter now.
I was just thinking, how can I make my Twitter poll mean even less? Why are you playing this game? None of us wanted to watch this game. We're all in Discord. Well,
that's why I shared it in Discord.
Well, I don't.
First.
I'll share it in Discord when super Discords are in. But
oh, I guess tell him though.
Yeah.
Oh.
If any chance Pop is watching this right now, I guess no.
No, I'm sorry, Pop. We're
sorry.
Broke.
Yeah, if you refresh the stream right now, you'll see an ad. And again, I can't stress enough, we're looking at the Better Twitch TV thing.
This part is bullshit.
This has been almost every 30 seconds since we started streaming.
Yeah.
It goes to a purple screen that lasts 30 seconds that says, hello, if you're seeing this and you're not already on twitch.tv, click here to get the best Twitch experience. If you're seeing this and you're already on twitch.tv, please review your third-party tools. Most likely there is an ad blocker or script running on your browser making it look like you are watching from another site. As we update our service, these third-party tools can affect Twitch's performance. The stream will resume shortly. Thank you for watching. I'm on our dashboard for our stream.
That's bullshit.
And I can't monitor the stream to make sure nothing's cut out because I got this fucking thing up. The timer just reset again, by the way, as I was saying that.
Yeah, it's completely invasive. It's anti-consumer, and it doesn't. It's what happens when Amazon gets their fucking little goddamn grubby little claws into something, and it's like. It used to be that Google was considered the big bads, but they're really just a bunch of idiots in comparison. Like, they really are. Like, anytime they handle anything in YouTube, it's literally watching the YouTube people just spaghetti all over the fucking place. Whereas, like, Amazon, it's, like, purely fucking concentrated and just pointed fucking anti-consumerism, and it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
All they want to fucking do is to literally milk every single person. And the idea that they're taking their own platform that was built off of the basis of supporting content creators and forcing other people to pay them money is ridiculous. It's fucking stupid, and it makes no sense.
The simplest part is that on this video game streaming platform, you aren't allowed to stream most video games.
And the worst part of it is that, do you know what this is? This is also, it's also completely dependent on whether or not you have the clout.
Yeah.
Because of Hassan and XQC, if you sub to them, you don't get ads on their channel at all. But if you sub to us, you still get fucking ads. Why? Because we're fucking lesser?
And it's probably because we talk a whole lot of shit.
Fuck
about
them.
Twitch.
I don't give a shit.
They know.
Come, look at me. Come at me. I don't give a fuck. I would like to talk to a Twitch cop. I would like to tell him to, like, through a bullshit-eating grin, can you personally tell me that you're not a piece of shit today? That you don't work for a fucking shithill corporation that does everything in its power to take the power away from people like me and viewers like mine? Like, what do you fucking expect? And then you fucking, like, prattle on about all this inclusivity, and the people that at the top of your fucking list of the platform are people like XQC who might as well be functionally fucking retarded. Like, you know, it's like, you know, I just... Not to fucking hate, because it's like there are people out there who are big on the fucking platform that I think are totally fucking
Nah, man,
worth
I
it.
saw XQC's room. Fuck that guy. Fuck that dude. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Let alone if I turn on his stream by accident, I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack hearing that guy talk.
But here's the thing: he's learning slowly every time I tune in or I see a clip of him. I'm starting to understand. Either A, I'm getting his language in my head, or
No.
B, he's learning English more. Because it's not his first language.
And I understand that. Just like,
He's also just a dumb,
he
shitty
talks
person.
so fast.
Yeah.
I get anxious. The one
Yeah.
time I tried listening to it was like a Tony Hawk stream because Pop was like, "Hey, XQC stream, he's trying to beat a score thing." Because there was a back and forth or whatever,
Right.
and I had to click off after 1 minute because I'm like, there hasn't been a breath. I'm like,
I feel bad. I feel like I was like, I told myself before the podcast, I was like, Phil,
don't make fun of
Don't
XQC
make
and
fun
his
of-
stupid accent.
no, just
right?
don't
That's what you
have
were gonna say?
like outrageous hot takes or like talk shit about people that you don't meet or know. And I was
Oh.
like,
Guess
'cause
what?
I don't like that. I don't like it when Drew does it. I don't like it when I do it.
Well, guess what? If I have to look at his
So-
room, he's on the chopping block. My eyes had to see it, and he was proud of it.
It does remind me. I don't know if I spoke
If
about.
if there's a McDonald's bag on your floor, one singular, empty, no food in it, don't talk to me. Throw it away, and then we'll have a conversation. Don't talk to me. I threw a water bottle on my floor. I'm panicking. I have to get up and throw it away right now, or I'm gonna lose my shit. It's okay. I can leave it there as long as we finish the podcast in 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'll fucking.
Got the crazy eyes.
I
It's one thing. It's like, if these same creators were being affected by the same rules and the same bullshit, the same invasive kind of craziness, I would have no problem with it. But they are absolutely playing favorites to the people who are making them the most money. There is an absolute... It is a literal class system, again. It is the perfect analogy for capitalism in every sense of the fucking word.
Well, they're owned by capitalism.
Yeah.
And you went to the capitalism conference. So
I was there.
Yeah, you saw it.
It sucked.
Also, yeah, a small note. They took Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 out of the games list, and I guess a bunch of other fighting games. I don't know why. They just did it. Just did it for... They left Vanilla Marvel 3. You can't buy that game anymore.
Fuck Twitch, dude. We got the fuck out of here.
I just don't even know, man. I don't know what's going on. But you know what I do know?
What's that? Tell me what you know.
That Bomb Rush Cyberpunk got delayed to 2022 because they're looking for a new composer. Oh, wait. Maybe that wasn't in the article. Maybe I should have clicked on it.
Man. Oh, well. So, I was talking to MHIO boys in chat, our group chat the other day, and we all had the same kind of come to Jesus moment of like, we're really gonna just have to like bury this deep because then that soundtrack is still fucking killer.
Listen, Charlie Chaplin does good work. Speaking of delays, Vampire Masquerade 2 is indefinitely delayed.
That game looked bad. Looked like it played bad.
Was there gameplay? I thought there was only the
There was
pre-rendered
like a
stuff.
whole hour of gameplay.
Oh shit, that's not good. If it was
Yeah.
bad,
It doesn't look very good.
damn. Speaking of games we know are bad and that got delayed.
Wow, you're just going right through them.
Oh well, I mean they're all tangentially related.
Yeah.
I hope you weren't hoping to play Cyberpunk with any fixes anytime soon because they got big hacked. And
So they had a personal breach that was actually so outrageous that like people's personal information was put into there. Not any of ours, but like employees. So there was employees who've had to like freeze their accounts and they can't physically work
yeah,
because of it. So that breach sucks.
that's not.
At first I was like, if it's just like the data thing, excuse me, I'm completely fine with it. No, when you are hurting people, go fuck yourself.
It's the same thing as the Capcom one, where it's like, don't hack people. First of all,
just get the shit and get out. Like, get the shit that you want.
Yeah,
like,
but
but
when
if you're
you-
there to like get like identities and shit, yeah, go fuck yourself.
yeah,
Black
and
Hat.
especially if you're gonna send it with like the fucking mid 2000s RAR CG project glomps into your server Did you see that text file?
Yeah.
It was a nightmare to read.
The fucking idiotic Phantom Thieves going at it, just like we're gonna let this go, and people are gonna laugh at your dick, and it's like, listen, everyone's been laughing at CD Projekt's dick. It's been completely on display.
I'm exhausted of laughing at their
right.
dicks.
I'm exhausted of it. It was my favorite thing to do for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done. Like I've said my piece. I had a fucking relationship fall apart in that amount of time. That's insane.
Yeah.
And we're still on this.
Well, don't worry, everybody. Max has to hold an L too, because Gran Turismo 7 also got delayed, but I don't have a PS5 yet, so they're probably just waiting for me to get it, and then they'll release the game.
That's what they're doing.
Most likely.
Speaking of racing games being where they shouldn't.
Oh.
Why? Do you see that?
Yes, the Twisted Metal TV show.
Yeah.
So, it's not impossible, but I kind of wish you'd just make a Twisted Metal game instead. There hasn't been one since the PS3, and that one was okay.
David Jaffe would roll over in his grave if he was dead. So instead, he'll just make an anti-Semitic remark on Twitter. I don't know if he hates Jewish people, actually. I think he's just an asshole. I conflate the two sometimes.
I like how the progression over the last couple of minutes was, I really wanted to come on this podcast without
I can't
throwing
stop
anything
it. I
at people I've never met to, I don't know, this guy might hate Jews, or maybe he doesn't. I don't really know, but he probably does. Anyway, Twisted Metal TV show will not have any Jewish people in it. Yeah, so they're thinking about a TV show. I think they could get away with it, but at the same time, I'd rather they just make a game. Remember the Death Race movie?
I try not to.
Which
one?
The live-action one.
Yeah, which one?
The first one is the only one I've seen.
Yeah, which one?
No, there's only one first one.
No, there's a reboot too.
No, not the one with the year in it. The one that's just called Death Race, not Death Race 2000.
Which one?
What are you talking about?
Death Race has several reboots.
What is the first live-action Death Race?
1970s.
It came out in the 70s?
Yes.
Oh.
Or the 60s, or whatever fuck-off year that was.
Oh, yikes. I thought it was based on the game.
Death Race?
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
What is the one with power-ups in it? There was a Death Race movie where they picked up power-ups.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know what you're
You
talking
have no
about.
clue what I'm talking about?
No, because there's been too many fucking attempts at Death Race.
Okay, well,
Is
there's...
Frankenstein in it?
No.
The main character, the driver?
Is he literally Frankenstein?
No.
No, maybe. I don't know.
He's called Frankenstein.
Does he drive over power-ups?
He drives over people?
No, it was a movie. It was like, it's not like, there's like a race, right?
Yeah! And there's a lot of death happening.
Yeah, but they drive over power-ups and then guns come out of their cars. There's a movie, I swear to God. Whatever.
There might be, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
I
that,
just wish I knew.
Unfortunately, the answer is always going to be, yeah, which one, though?
I just wish that I knew a single other detail about it other than there were power-ups.
Look, I'm well-versed in the Fast and Furious franchise, but,
You'd
like
like
the
this
Death Race,
movie,
like,
maybe.
reboots, I can't, like, understand or get.
Point being that they've made something close to this, and they could maybe do it again.
There was a Death Race with Jason Statham, and then there was a Death Race with another guy.
Fine, I'm just gonna Google it.
Death Race power-ups.
I'm just gonna. There's Death Race movie. Yeah, 2008. Yeah, it was the one with Jason Statham.
Are
yeah.
you sure?
Yes, it was this because
Okay.
then there was. Oh, I don't remember Death Race Inferno, but then the sequel was called like 4 movie collection. What the?
Which one?
Okay, the first one with Jason Statham. It had power-ups in it. That's all I remember.
When you turn to me and say Death Race,
DMX Fast and Fierce Death Race.
which one?
Okay. This one.
Okay.
Yes, I remember because the car had this stupid funnel thing on it. Look, point is the show's going to suck. You're not going to watch it anyway, and they're never going to make a Twisted Metal game because you didn't watch the show.
What could that show even possibly be about?
You could just base it on one of the characters.
So Sweet Tooth?
Maybe. No, you're going to have your unique self-insert fish out of water character that gets offered the deal by Mephisto and enters the death race, and then you meet all the wacky characters along the way, and then he gets to the end of the show, and he makes a wish, and Mephisto is kind of a dick, so the wish backfires, and then that's the whole show. So now you don't have to watch it.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, it's just going to be like if you had played the story mode for a character in Twisted Metal Black or the PS3 game. That's it. That's what the show is going to be. But it's going to be with a character you've never heard of, and all the other characters are just going to be on the side doing things.
Twisted Metal Black was like exceedingly edgy, wasn't it?
It'll be a show for nobody. All the Twisted Metal games are exceedingly edgy.
Okay.
They're all really edgy. That's part of the charm.
Yeah.
Maybe the action will be like Mad Max Fury Road. All right. So BlizzCon.
That's a take.
So we mentioned BlizzCon very briefly. I saw
two things came out of it that were worth my attention.
Name one.
Diablo 4 looks pretty good.
Does it? Did they show gameplay?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
the other
it's-
one is Diablo 2, I'm guessing?
Oh, I forgot about Diablo 2.
Were you going to say Overwatch 2?
I was going to just remark because just because it caught my attention doesn't mean it was good.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So Diablo 4, okay, so let me back up a little bit. So Diablo 4 announced that they're bringing back the rogue class, which apparently I wasn't aware was gone. So I'm not really a big Diablo guy. I played Diablo 3, wasn't in Diablo 3. I like Demon Hunter better. Looks really cool. Looks like I don't know if it's character specific, but the gameplay looks like they're going to be allowing you to equip both a melee and a ranged weapon, so the skills can be used simultaneously.
Okay.
It's got an open world thing, so there's mounts. You have dismount animations and actions that can do and go into combat. It's a lot more grittier. They brought it back to like the more traditional Diablo 2, Diablo 1 kind of gnarly medieval fantasy flavor. So a lot of guts and blood, and there's a very silly. I don't know why this priest accepts ears as tribute or whatever, but he does. It looks good. If you like ARPGs,
Does he
Diablo
say,
4,
"Can you lend me an ear"?
No, but there is something just as cheesy,
Okay.
which is because he's in the house of God or something.
Yeah.
And he looks at the fucking rogue lady and he's like, "Thank the heavens for you." And she's like, "The heavens? No, they didn't send me."
I'm from Diablo 4.
So Diablo 4 looks pretty good. It's unfortunate because, I mean, it's Blizzard. And, you know, you buy a Blizzard game.
What it be?
You buy a Blizzard game lately, you might as well be supporting actual human rights violations. But
Yeah. And that's outside of just playing the game. Am I right, gamers? Hit that subscribe button.
please don't. And then Diablo 2 is being remastered and coming along. It actually looks relatively decent. Hopefully the fucking Warcraft 3 situation
I was going to
doesn't
say,
happen.
they've gotten really good at remasters, so I'm sure everyone's excited for Diablo. Blizzard is one of those companies where it's like, how many times do they have to spit in your food? How many times do they have to spit in your food before you drive somewhere else?
Yeah, but I also think it's not. I think it's not Blizzard at this point. I really, because the last I've heard about Blizzard stuff, just in general from like all the talking on the internet and just people I've talked to who work there, they basically were all saying that it seems like it was an aggressive invasion by Activision relatively recently.
Okay.
Where they would just chuck like a lot of implicitly profited-minded people within creative business decision meetings that just wouldn't make any sense for them to be in. A lot of analytics and shit got thrown around, you know?
Did that stop?
No.
So why would you still support it?
You're right.
Why would you continue to buy bad products? Blizzard, I need to
you're
remind
right.
everybody that Blizzard isn't your friend.
No
So,
corporation is your friend.
No corporation
though.
is your friend, but in this case, Blizzard is not your friend.
Yeah,
BioWare is
but
not
no
your friend.
corporation is your friend.
Nobody. Only we are your friends. Just us.
Just us. Pay us exclusively.
For Diablo 4.
I
I got RPG Maker installed on my computer.
Get to work, bud. Yeah, I really don't.
I saw the Overwatch 2 designs. They're really going
you?
out of the box on those. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. It said Overwatch 2. I even saw a side-by-side. I thought I was looking
did.
at 2 screenshots from Overwatch 2.
It is becoming increasingly apparent that they did not want to do this, and they are doing everything in their power to make it seem like it's the case. I don't think I've ever seen a more tired development team in my entire life.
Well, like...
Since Final Fantasy 15.
True. Well, it's like, what do you... It doesn't... This is like the opposite of the cool thing that, we literally just talked about.
PSO2.
PSO2, where it's like, yeah, you're gluing another game on top of this game, but it makes less sense because it's like a competitive shooter. So if you're not adding more characters, then you could have released a map pack.
It's a competitive shooter where multiplayer maps and changes are going to be free of charge anyway to the Overwatch 1 players. All of the multiplayer changes, everything multiplayer centric is crossplay. You don't get the new designs. And you don't get the co-op mode.
It makes especially little sense considering that there are a lot of cool costumes in Overwatch. So what happened? They just didn't want to design something too new? Could they not design something too new because there needed to be parity?
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know.
The more I see this game, I fell asleep during the fucking presentation after a certain point. Because they were just fucking just jabbing on and on about something that I just was not understanding. It was basically, it felt soulless.
It was your Wi-Fi indicator talk.
Yeah.
It was your equivalent.
Yeah. It was something to the tune of like, you know, we're really trying to create. Oh, I love it when developers do this. This really open and alive feeling world, a really large and expansive world.
Bro, you make a competitive first-person shooter. You don't need to do that. You need to make the game good. Shut up. We're adding jumping to the game. It's never before been seen in any video game prior.
They
when
were
you press
literally
the space key, Phil, you go up. You go up, Phil.
I really did, and it's like I really don't want to be a shitheel about this, but it's always like when they turn around and they turn to their people and they're like, can we finally talk about it? Can we reveal? Oh, I'm so excited, and they reveal the thing, and I'm going.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Overwatch 2.
I get more surprised looking at the shit that comes out of my ass in the toilet, dude. Like it's like, you know, it's like a new experience like every single time, and I'm just like, that's not normal. I should go see someone about that. That's fine. That's something that's far more interesting to me than listen to these fucking people prattle on about a fucking miserable game experience that obviously no one's having fun developing anymore. And I feel miserable for Jeff Kaplan and his entire team because there's no fucking way that anyone in that team thinks they're developing a game that is worth a full price entry. Now, if they turn around and say some shit like Overwatch 2 is $20 or $30,
well, maybe they don't think it's worth a full price entry because it's going to be free.
No. Overwatch 2 is a game you buy.
No, it's not. Not if you play multiplayer.
You're right. You still have to buy Overwatch 2.
No.
Yes.
Didn't you just tell me that it
exactly
was cross?
Exactly. Exactly.
Wait a minute. Wait, I don't understand.
Right. You shouldn't, because it doesn't make fucking sense, Max. They're fucking gonna charge you full price for a co-op mode.
But
all the fucking changes that you want are already gonna be on the fucking game.
But you said
yes, I did. So why?
But you don't. Okay, but me like no, it doesn't make sense that they're making this. But if I wanted to play Overwatch with the new maps and characters, I wouldn't have to buy anything else. I would just boot up Overwatch.
No. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, you fell asleep during the presentation, so
I couldn't tell you.
I'm definitely not going to watch it. So no, I guess for all intents and purposes,
I believe yes. So all of the quote unquote multiplayer content is free of charge, but the designs are going to be different. Maybe.
Post Malone and Pokemon, right? Poke Malone? Pokemalone. Malonemon? Postamon?
Malonemon's really good. I like Malonemon. Poke Malone is pretty good.
Should that many tattoos be on a Pokemon character? Like on their face? When Post Malone transforms into a Pokemon guy, trainer,
Every time he loses a hit point, one gets removed.
Is Post Malone like a wholesome rapper?
No.
He's done like, all I remember is I saw.
You know what song he's done? I'm sure you've heard it.
Sure.
Graduation.
How recently did that come out? It sounds like corporate white people hype up music, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what Post Malone does.
Oh, okay.
He creates corporate, but like white people hype up music.
The only thing I have seen Post Malone in is
we call it white people party music, is what we call it.
No. Well, I don't go to parties. I sit through white people corporate events.
You're just white in passing. That's all it is.
What?
You know.
Well, I didn't pick.
You call your grandmother Vavo. Like, you're not really white. Like, you're just not. Like, you can't fucking like pull. It's like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I see you in a.
But
fucking,
that's what
I'm
it
driving
is,
past you.
though.
I go, look at that fucking white right there.
But that's like, yeah. But you get what I'm saying. It's. I guess I've heard it more in corporate atmospheres. You've heard it more in party atmospheres, but it is very clearly made to hype up white people. Like
white, but it's always white people party music though.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're having a party, but they're talking about fucking spreadsheets, so it's not that exciting a
the
party.
The cum report.
Yeah, the cum report about the orbital missiles. Oh my God, my
You
job.
didn't sign an NDA.
I didn't sign an NDA. Fuck it. You'll never guess who we sold them to. It was Post Malone. The only thing I've ever seen Post Malone do was he was in a straight to Netflix Boston Core movie starring Mark Wahlberg.
What the fuck is Boston Core?
You know the movies Mark Wahlberg is in?
Yeah.
That's Boston Core. It is
Fuck, that's so
it
good.
is I called it Red Soxploitation films. And there are any films where they take place in Boston where Bostonians do Boston things. Usually it has Mark Wahlberg or Batman.
Batman?
You know, the actor that played Batman. He was
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. These are Boston films.
Red Soxploitation is really strong.
It's really strong. I tweeted that out like 2 years ago, and I remember that was one of the tweets that I texted you, and I said, should I tweet this? But it was too good, and now it's out here. But yeah, Post Malone played a guy in jail who almost beats up Mark Wahlberg, but Mark Wahlberg is simply too strong and too from Boston. So he fights him.
Man's got chatter running through his veins, pumping.
Yeah, it's
left
really
and right.
healthy.
He takes 2 steps. He starts breathing real heavy. But man, if he throws a punch and he hits you with it,
he's gonna
fucking knock
park
out of
your
here.
car in the parking lot.
You fucking park your car.
Get his donkey doonies, you know.
What the fuck's a donkey dooney? Fucking get the fuck out of here.
So Post Malone's gonna make a Pokemon song? I don't know.
Did you not see that fucking advertisement?
I saw the ad, but I didn't read into it because I was too scared.
Yeah, it's a fucking really just completely nonsensical
It's a virtual concert.
Yeah.
That will be muted on Twitch.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Not only is it a virtual concert, when they mean virtual, I don't think they're gonna show Post Malone. They made a Post Malone Pokemon character. Like, watch the ad. Like
I know he transforms into like a disgusting VTuber.
Right. And it's like, what the fuck am I looking at, bro?
It's very scary.
But like, I've never in my fucking like years. When have you ever been like, you know what I could really use with this Pokemon X, Y, and Z playthrough, or whatever the fuck they're called nowadays? Some of that old Post Malone in the background. That's what I'll tell you. Those kids, they really love the Pikachus and the Post Malones. It sounds like a fucking group of boomers got together in a fucking board meeting and just said, you know, that there Post Malone my son always loves is always being played on that tube.
I'm really excited for the next Smash Brothers character. The entire Panic at the Disco band.
Bobby Shmurda got released out of jail when Daft Punk died. So, like, he's definitely
going to be
Smash.
in Tekken, is what you're saying? We're going to have the Bobby Shmurda stage where Bobby
Shmurda is the Polish Prime Minister.
and Daft Punk is driving his limo. That's why they had to quit music, because they got to chauffeur him around. Oh no. I've ruined fighting games again.
His rage drive, he throws his hat up in the air, and if it hits you, it starts the whole fucking combo.
It's like Dudley throwing the rose like over his shoulder. And then last but not least, I have no clue what you mean by this. You just said Fortnite proceeds to be a terrifying alternate reality.
That part we can't talk about on stream.
Oh.
That's the one I told you about in private.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's fake concerts and shit. There's
Yeah.
definitely enough public stuff. But,
Yeah, but like the reason why it's happening.
But like...
So Fortnite, not only did they add
Oh, sorry.
Ryu and Chunners, but they also added a Xenomorph because Fortnite continues to be...
Can I just point out missed thing that I did during my weekend news? Dan came out in Street Fighter V. They did like a whole presentation, and they had Steve Aoki on there, who was doing a Street Fighter collaboration song. And you figure if you get the guy in, you tell him how to pronounce Ryu.
He said Ryu.
Ryu.
Did
The
you know
whole
what
time.
Steve Aoki just did?
Say Ryu.
He did an R Knights collaboration.
Did he say R Knights instead of Arc Knights?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Music in Arc Knights is dope. I don't know if you've heard any of it.
The song was okay.
Arc Knight. Well, I don't know if his song is okay, but
is alright.
music in general is really good. Out of all the fucking mobile games, I wish so
Xenomorph
desperately
and
were.
Ripley. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, who's gonna fight the Xenomorph? They gotta come in pairs. Man,
Video games are really fucking weird.
if they add, is the Predator in Fortnite?
No, but they might as well fucking put him in there now.
Because if you have the Alien and Predator and Ryu, then this is also the closest we've gotten to a new Alien versus Predator Capcom beat 'em up.
Oh my fucking... I will say that like the amount of memes that comes out of Fortnite because of the inclusion of these characters is always fantastic.
You just go down the line of dances and you green screen it. Every character release.
Well, it's just
easy.
It's just confusing because now Fortnite might as well be American Smash.
Yeah.
Because there's
And it
Halo
is.
and Kratos and Ryu. I'm not gonna say Ryu for him.
Guys looked at him. That's Ryu.
That's
in
Ryu.
game.
Mm-hmm.
And Chun Li's ass.
I was gonna say.
I can't tell if I've been seeing photoshopped images or if
No.
it's real Fortnite.
No,
The
she
one where
got a
she's holding
dog.
the phone? Is
No,
that a real image?
That's a real image. She got a dog on her, bro.
Bro, dude.
Dude, true.
Chun-Li can't do spinning bird kick anymore because of her dump truck, dude.
I tried to sneak around in Tomato Town, but the sound of my ass cheeks clapping fucking gave me away.
They should have put M. Bison in. Or maybe Guile and Charlie Nash, you know, the people who are in the military.
I
know how
think
to
it'd
use
be
guns.
really cool to actually have the Guile theme play as like a Fortnite like emote.
I want to hear Ryu and Chun-Li's theme with the Fortnite sound font. Have you seen the Toho one?
The what?
We're gonna watch the Toho one after this. I'll play it. You know what? I'll play out the stream to it.
All right.
But yeah, you know what?
I think I had Funny Bean Game in there, but whatever. I don't know what the fuck that
Was
news
there a
article was.
funny bean game
Yeah, just scroll down.
article?
There might be some other stuff I forgot.
Oh, this funny bean game.
What's
It's just Nintendo Direct.
Oh.
Yeah, Fall Guys is coming to the Switch, and it will not work. I guarantee you it will not function.
So basically what I've understood is that a lot has happened in video games. Not a lot of it has really been super relevant.
I was
going to
say a lot of things have happened, none of which has resulted in video games coming out or getting better.
Except Strive.
Except Strive.
Strive's really cool.
Although the game's still not out. So we will report on that when the game comes out.
And Yuffie. She looks amazing.
She looks really good.
Also, yeah, would like to clarify. Well, I don't think she's best girl. I do want to kind of, because Pat, I was watching some reactions earlier, and Pat was talking on his stream, and Paige is like, "Oh my god, best girl," and everyone's like, "She's like 16," and they're like, "Yeah, guys, you can have best girls.
I was
and
gonna
not wanna
say,
put your pee in them."
sometimes you can play a game without your penis.
Yep.
It can happen. I know it's crazy, but I just like cute, fast ninja girl. That's it.
Now,
That's the end of the thought.
Tifa's best girl because she's amazing, very strong, and I want to put my pee in her, but that's different because
Yeah.
she's a grown-ass woman.
I know you can't play Final Fantasy VII without your penis.
No, that
I can, but
Tifa and Aerith now specifically. Can you fuck a personality? Because I would.
you can with your words. Was there anything else?
What are you?
I'm just
what are
gonna
you?
I'm just gonna play the audio.
What
for
is
it.
that?
It's how I'm gonna end the podcast.
Oh my fucking god.
But yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Dan's in Street Fighter. Me and Jesse played him. He's fun. Street Fighter 5 got a lot of big updates, and that was cool. I need to play more.
PlayStation games. We did skim over that. PlayStation games are more coming to PC.
I can't think of a single one.
Days Gone is coming.
Hell, fuck me. Well, never mind.
Never mind, guy.
Fucking Days Gone. Can you tell me the main character's name or anything about that game?
White.
Yeah, maybe. Was he? Bike?
Dude.
Let's get some nouns in here, guys. You guys like
Yeah.
nouns? There's no PlayStation game. I need it,
I'm thinking, what the next big one's going to be? It's probably going to be Last of Us. They're probably going to take Last of Us and as a collection,
Yeah.
and put it on PC, but only when they announce and release the multiplayer version of Last of Us 2, which I'll be honest, I will buy Last of Us 2 for the multiplayer because Last of Us multiplayer was fucking good. Like Naughty Dog does actually for a developer that's only been exclusively creating single player games, like Uncharted 2, 3, and 4 multiplayer are incredible. Last of Us multiplayer is really fun. Like it's a very different experience, but it takes that combat system and it makes it really fun. Like it's a very I don't even know how to explain it. You've never played Last of Us at all, right?
I've played the multiplayer actually. I have played one match of the multiplayer.
No, well, there you go.
And the games look like they have good shooting. So I imagine if you just shot other people, it'd be just as fun.
Yeah, and they said that some kind of multiplayer component is coming out for Last of Us 2. I hope it isn't just a horde mode. If it is, that's fine too, because that's honestly the only thing from that game that I'm really that's appealing to me is that
shooting things.
the shooting
So
things
they
look
failed.
really good. Yeah, 100%.
They failed.
They 100%
So it's a horde mode, but every single time you shoot something, they have to give you their whole backstory and a flashback so you feel bad.
Do you think they have enough time for that? Like Ellie maims people.
No, but I think they have enough crunch. I think they can crunch the employees enough to make it happen. You don't need to sleep.
You're at home already, silly.
Dude, how can crunch be real? Just walk away from your computer, lol. Can I just put out Metal Gear?
Yeah, fuck unions.
Yeah, fuck unions. You know what, Twitch? We're with you on that one.
Yeah, Twitch.
We got your back, Twitch. We know how you feel about unions. You don't have to play pretend, Twitch.
I know Bezos is gone, but eat my ass, Bezos.
Yeah, he got out. He escaped.
Is that what we're gonna call it?
It's like when you have like
He didn't just casually walk out.
you know how Hitman has the timed targets,
Yeah.
and you could just miss one permanently.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5 Battle Royale is so easy. That idea is free. Could you imagine?
Would you have bought it?
Yes. Now I would have.
That's what I'm gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Instead of Survive, though, if you told me it was a big multiplayer thing where they took those big fuck-off maps and they just dropped you in, and it was you against not even 100 other people, maybe like 50, other people with that toolkit and that ability of movement, and you're picking up those weapons. You find the Jehuti hand.
I wanted what the concept of that one game mode where it's Snake versus everybody to just be on a larger map.
Oh, from the multiplayer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so
That
sad
would
the
have worked
multiplayer
way
died.
more.
Honestly, like, it's still one of the best handling third-person shooters I've ever played.
Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
multiplayer was fun. MGS4 multiplayer was fun.
Yeah. MGO is cool.
MGO is a really
You just don't
fucking
put
cool.
any zombies in it.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
We might see it soon.
Nah.
I mean, Silent Hills is apparently coming. Silent Hill.
Who
Something.
cares? Does anyone care? Is anyone even still here for
Guys,
that?
I promise we like things. Like, 100% we do. Like, I promise we're not...
I love
promise I'm
things.
not.
I play all the stuff I like off stream.
Yeah.
I save it for me. It makes me very happy. I can't hey, when that Persona 5 Strikers opening was playing and you do the big tutorial fight, I had the biggest fucking smile on my face, and only Manchuro will ever know because he was there.
Is Manchura your top tier? Is he your tier 3 sub?
Yeah, you got the private show. Manchuro's the one with the feet pics. It's him.
There it is.
Before
Matt,
I
if you're
before I
around-
severed my feet permanently and banished them to the ocean.
I want to eat. Let
Yeah.
me see Toho do Fortnite.
All right, everybody. Thanks. Is there anything coming up?
On the channel, probably going to play some more Outriders, try out the classes. I would like to get back into the Final Fantasy VII Remake deep dive.
Mhm.
We did the first part of that.
Yeah.
Not many people showed up, but a lot of people who were there did like it a lot. And now with all this new news about Integrate and Ever Crisis and all this other shit coming out, I'm sure people are going to be very excited to see or hear more about me be a simp over Final
Nice.
Fantasy again.
So I don't have too many stream ideas currently. I want to finish the game we played on Valentine's Day. The weird Japanese PlayStation 1
Chula?
choose your own adventure game. No. The horror game. Whose name I can't remember. We'll try to get in contact with Steven, see if he wants to come on back, because I think he was also very much enjoying
I would
it.
like a night. Oh, 24-hour stream. Okay, guys. So that's still kind of up in the air. That's mainly due to like a personal thing. As much as I want to do it, the fact of the matter remains is that I don't know if I'm in like a good mental state to do that right now.
Yeah.
Back like 2 years ago, I was fine because I was capable. But as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that I fall asleep way easier nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Our Dragon's Crown playthrough.
what playthrough?
What playthrough?
I don't
well, me and
remember.
Tolly played it.
Did you have fun?
No, because we couldn't get to the next screen. Because it was tied to all three of us.
Oh no.
Yeah. As far as anything else, I might slow down on the streams just a little bit. I want to.
Yeah, I
need
don't
to
need
make
to do a 24-hour stream. I'll just let you fucking handle
Yeah.
it, Mr.
Well,
Marathoner.
it's your time to play Jump King. I did. it.
Dude, the moment that you fucking finished, I tried to go on your library. Apparently, we have to fucking reshare the library because I still have some of it, but not all of it.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't know what the fuck that's about. Because I was like, I'll install Jump King and try it out today. Not today, apparently.
Yeah, it's all right. Hey, if you're worried about your mental state, maybe steer clear.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I might stream a little bit less. I got lazy and I fell off the video making stuff, even though I was on a roll for 3. And I kind of want to get back to that. So stay tuned. I definitely want to finish the fucking PlayStation 1 game though. That game's fucking.
I would like to do some kind of special stream, because like, for those who don't know, who are going to be listening, the fact of the matter is that the reason why I did the 24-hour stream 2 years ago was for my late friend who died of cancer and his bills, and unfortunately the same thing is happening with my grandmother, because GoFundMe has become the backbone of the American healthcare system.
Yep.
So, you know, I would definitely like to do some kind of maybe 12-hour, maybe close.
12 hours isn't that bad if you schedule enough stuff.
I will do stop till you drop. That's what I'll do. Is that I'll just probably do it like I did the last time, where I set it up. I say I'm going to go for 24 hours, and then Max will sleep for like 7 of them, or however long he sleeps. And then when I look at Max and my eyes are falling out of my head, he goes, "It's okay, bud. I'll take the reins," like he did last time.
It's okay, Phil. I brought crack. You're not falling asleep on this stream. Don't you worry. I got the cattle prod.
Oh yeah, that's why. Because I can't keep filling my body with energy drinks because of my blood pressure.
Yeah.
So I can't. Gotta stay healthy, boys. I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't do any of the.
Just gotta get real coffee.
No, probably not.
Diet coffee. That's not what it's called.
Water.
Water coffee.
This ginger ale is the
Monster
most
Energy
soda
water
I've had in a while.
The Monster Hydro. That's the scariest shit. Have you seen that?
What the fuck is Monster Hydro?
You haven't seen that?
No.
So Monster Hydro, it's Monster Energy water. And it comes in a plastic can. But with like, you know, like the Snapple bottles, how they're not glass anymore. They're like that really hard plastic.
Yeah.
It's like that, but slightly squishier. But the top is still a metal can pop top. Next time you go to a store,
I will look for it. It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, and it looks like Drano. Like
fuck that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna probably go not hibernation, but go into the hole and work on some video stuff. That's it from me. That is it from Phil. Thank you so much for watching episode 34. Again, we're gonna look into
putting it on Spotify,
getting the audio extracted and that sort of thing. All right.
Play us out, Fortnite. Oh my fucking god. Is that fucking bad at... Oh my fucking god.
I need this for Ryu and Chun-Li's theme.
Oh my god.
God fucking damn it. How many V-Bucks he has?
He's got a lot. He's getting more. Oh, he's got none now.
They do the reverse at a certain point, which is amazing. Hold on. It's gotta be coming up soon. Oh, God.
It's weird how many of these songs I know. Like, just in passing.
Yeah. Have you ever played a Toho game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have to find the reverse, but
So this one goes in.
That's going somewhere.
The fucking little...
Do you think, like... the Kage one? Or the Ryu one?
No.
When he does the clap, it's like, okay, I know the podcast is going in a weird direction right now, and...
What?
Fuck, how do I find it? How do I find it? You, right? I think it's this. Yeah.
Oh
Hold on.
my fucking
Hold
God.
on. I gotta turn my desktop back. This is very important. This is real. This was modded into the game via the mysterious mod.
Kage wins. Congratulations.
Oh, I hate that so fucking much.
The fucking hit sound on the clap. All right, that's it from us. Thank you all for coming by. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.